Hitters count. Here it comes. And it is ball 4. Sogard scores an RBI the easy way for Shaw. And the Brewers win 4-3.
That's showing good patience in on Perez, Travis Shaw. And the Brewers walk away with one here tonight.
Nothing like a little late inning drama on a Friday night at Miller Park, but thanks to that, the walk-off walk by Travis Shaw to score Eric Sogard. We've got an even series here between the Mets and the Brewers, and we're getting ready for baseball on a gorgeous and hot Saturday afternoon here in Milwaukee. Great day for tailgating. Good afternoon, everyone. Sophia Minard here at Miller Park. And earlier this season, Craig Counsell described his team sometimes as a high-wire act because of the late-inning drama. The walk-off wins last night was their 4th already of the season. But he said there's a reason behind that success, and the Brewers have been among the best in one-run games. Their record, 13-5. Only the Yankees have a higher winning percentage, and only the Seattle Mariners have more wins in one-run games at 14. So you see there where the Brewers rank 13-5, and decided in the last at-bat they are 9-5. So Craig Counsell gives a lot of credit to his pitching staff for putting his team in the position to win those late-inning games.
If you're playing a lot of one-run games, generally they're going to swing one way or the other. I think the reason that we've had some success this year is because we've had a really good bullpen, and you know, you're pitching a lot of games. The one-run games are generally going to be decided by, you know, kind of the bullpens, kind of either way. You know, whether you turn the games over to, you know, bullpens in the 7th inning or whatever. That's, you know, if games are within reach, they're generally going to be decided by 1 run. So I think that's why we've had some success in that area. You know, we've done a good job against other teams' bullpens and pushing runs across and late runs. So that's not always easy to do, but we've done a pretty good job of that this year.
Earlier on the homestand, Chase Anderson came back from the disabled list, delivered a quality start for the Brewers. Can he build off of that here this afternoon? Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder will take a look at Anderson's success here lately.
Brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. After the Brewers walk off with a walk last night, we've got day baseball on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Jason Vargas, who was an 18-game winner, led all of baseball in wins last year. He matches up against Chase Anderson, his second start since coming off the disabled list. And the stage is all set for Brewers baseball today. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us this afternoon. We hope you're having a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. And Rock, talk to me a little bit about Chase Anderson. He comes off the DL. Remember, he had food poisoning, flu-like symptoms. Right. Knocked him down 10 days. He comes back. What did you see out of him last time out?
Well, it was 2 weeks between starts. And, you know, Chase Anderson's not one of those guys that's going to blow the ball by anybody. He relies on touch and feel, good command of off speed. And he really didn't have it in his first inning. Gave up a hit, a couple of walks, a hit batter, gave up a run. That really started to lock down. I mean, it didn't take Chase long to find his command. Did a really good job against the Diamondbacks. He pitched 6 strong innings in a victory. You can see only 3 hits. 2 of those hits came in that 6th inning, including a home run. But Chase, it didn't take him long to get back into form after an almost 2-week layoff between starts.
Well, one aspect the Brewers are excelling right now is defense. They have not committed an error on this homestand, 5 games in. Brewers and the Mets, we're ready for Game 3. Lineups, first pitch coming up. Swing and a miss.
He struck him out.
Chase Anderson got him. Chase Anderson is back, his second start on this homestand on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minard. Today's game being produced by Dan Keener, directed by Adam Bryant III. There's Mickey Callaway, first-year Mets manager. The Mets got off to an 11-1 start. They are certainly right in the picture in the National League East. They have a record of 25-22. They are currently 3 back of the Atlanta Braves. And here is the Potawatomi batting order for Mickey Callaway. He's got Brandon Nimmo, then Asdrubal Cabrera, followed by Wilmer Flores. In the middle, it's Jay Bruce, Michael Conforto, Devin Mesoraco, Adrian Gonzalez, Jose Reyes, and Jason Vargas rounding out the starting 9. Brandon Nimmo is ready to go. Chase Anderson toes the rubber. All the pieces in place. And we are set for baseball on this Saturday afternoon. First pitch misses outside, ball one, and away we go.
Yeah, 10th start for Chase Anderson. Really good numbers, making his 6th start career against New York. Picked up a win against the Mets at Citi Field. That was earlier this season. 6 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, 1 run in a Brewers victory.
Brewers won last night. It was a thriller. The Mets had a comeback with 2 outs in the 9th. Jose Bautista had an RBI single with 2 outs in the 9th inning to tie the game at 3. And then the Brewers won in 10 innings on a Travis Shaw walk. A.J. Ramos walked him with the bases loaded. And the Brewers now 4-1, Rock, in extra inning games. They've been very good in close games and extra inning games. They're 4 out of 5.
All about the bullpen, right? I mean, low scoring games, the Brewers have been able to win. Come from behind victories. It's a big deal. That bullpen's been terrific.
Anderson got this homestand started the right way for the Brewers, beating Zach Greinke. The Brewers beat the Diamondbacks on the first game of this homestand. They swept Arizona as Nemo draws a leadoff walk.
All right, check out the Brewers defense. You got Braun, Kane, Yelich in the outfield. Shaw, Saladino gets another start. Remember, Archie got sent to the minor leagues yesterday. Perez at second, Aguilar at first, and Eric Kratz getting his first start as a Brewer behind home plate.
First start in the big leagues this year for Eric Kratz, who has bounced around quite a bit in his career and a number of big league stops, including Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, among others. He's been playing in AAA this year, Kratz, in the Yankees system. So he's been playing a lot. So he comes to the Brewers fresh. That is just foul as Cabrera pulls one just past the bag.
He comes in with credentials that are pretty strong defensively. He handles pitchers well. He spent a lot of time last couple of days going over scouting reports with Derek Johnson about the pitching staff, and he's got some pop in his bat. I know he's hurt the Brewers in a game or two in his career.
6'5", 250 is Eric Kratz. He's a big man. He'll turn 38 in a couple of weeks in mid-June. First game as a Brewer here this afternoon, and a swing and a miss by Asdrubal Cabrera to make it 0-2. And now the Brewers employ an even bigger shift, moving Travis Shaw over there to the right side. 3 infielders on the right side with 2 strikes. The fear of the bunt is gone with 2 strikes on the hitter. Cabrera had 3 hits last night for the Mets. Mets only had 7 hits in the game, and Cabrera with 3 of them. It was a good game, back and forth affair. The Brewers got ahead early on Noah Syndergaard. Travis Shaw hit a home run in the 2nd. They scored a couple of more runs in the 3rd and hung on to win it after the game was tied up in the 9th.
Yeah, Junior Guerra very good last night. 6 innings, 2 runs. Did not walk a batter, so he was throwing a lot of strikes. Had a good splitter last night. There's Junior. Another good outing for him. He's been really good since joining the rotation.
ERA is sub-3 now for Guerra. Dropped to 2.98 with his 6 innings and 2 earned runs in last night's game. Mets won the opener here Thursday. Shut out the Brewers 5-0. And Cabrera lines one to right, a base hit. Yelich over to cut it off. On his way to third goes Nemo. 2-strike hitting by Asdrubal Cabrera has set up the Mets well in this first inning.
Yeah, he went down and got one yesterday against Guerra. I mean, down in the strike zone. There's that curveball. This one stays up, and he has got a very good 2-strike approach. Just trying to level out that swing, keep the bat in the hitting zone as long as he can, and he lines one into right.
4-man umpiring crew led by the crew chief Marty Foster, or rather Mike Winters. Marty Foster's behind the plate calling the balls and strikes here today. Two on, first and third, nobody out, and it's Wilmer Flores Mets are still without two of their big bats in the lineup. Todd Frazier has a hamstring injury, and Yoenis Cespedes has a hip flexor injury. Those two are close to returning, but it won't be in this series. Might not be on this road trip for the Mets. Anderson got in big trouble in the first inning against the Diamondbacks. Gave up a run, had the bases loaded in that first. Once he got through that, though, he settled down. He pitched a very good game and looked like his old self after that first inning. 2-0 on Flores. A swing and a miss. He put a fastball by him.
Yeah, velocity pretty good for Chase, even in his first start since coming back.
Gave up 2 walks and a hit in the first inning against Arizona last Monday, and then only gave up 2 more hits the rest of his start. Brewers hit 3 home runs off Zach Greinke that day to win the opener of that series. 2-2 now.
Yeah, curveball, changeup, location, very important for Chase, and it was a little shaky in the first inning. His last time out. You mentioned those 3 hits he allowed. 2 of the final hits that he gave up were all in both in the 6th inning. His final inning. So in between the 1st and the 6th, really good for Chase.
2-2 and a little flare. Long run that is going to be down. A base hit and a run will score. Perez couldn't quite get there. And it's an RBI single for Wilmer Flores. Well, you're going good when you get that one to fall.
Yeah, no man's land right there. Just an emergency hack just to put the bat on the baseball. Check it out. Really good pitch. Good job by Flores just to get a piece of it. And out of the reach of Perez. Had a long way to go to get that one. He was pinched up the middle for a double play. And you wonder why Flores is not, or those guys maybe thinking they should be second and third.
No, I'm with you. That the ball, the way it caromed off the glove of Perez. Asdrubal Cabrera certainly should be at third base. Now he had to hold up for a moment to see if it was going to be caught or not. Couldn't get it restarted to get to third. That keeps a double play opportunity available here for Anderson, who could use one here early. He's got Jay Bruce coming up. Mets on the board quickly today. First 3 batters have reached a walk and 2 singles. 2 2-out singles. And Bruce with a big swing and a miss. Jay Bruce in his career against Chase Anderson is just 1 for 17. But that one hit was a home run. Having a down year to start the year for the Mets this season.
And Chase has struck him out 9 times.
He'll take one of those right here. He's trying to avoid that big inning. I saw a note today all across Major League Baseball, the fact that the team who scores first has a winning percentage of 70%.
Yeah, amazing, huh?
70% of the teams this year in baseball that score first win the game. Brewers are on the high end of that mark when they score first. Milwaukee is 27-5 this year when they score first. Maybe a bigger number for the Brewers is their record when they hit a home run in a game. They're 26-6 when they do that. And they did both of those last night. Travis Shaw hit not only the first homer, but put the Brewers on the board first with that home run against Syndergaard last night. 0-2 the count, and Bruce pops it foul out of play. Both teams decked out in their Memorial Day uniforms. Good looking uniforms.
Yeah, the green, the camouflage.
0-2 pitch. Bruce doesn't bite. 1-2 now. They'll be wearing these uniforms through Monday.
Equipment managers, busiest people in the organizations these days. You have the Mother's Day uniforms, and I'm sure they have something set up for Father's Day. You got the camo on Memorial Day.
One ball, 2 strikes. Still nobody out, and Anderson steps off.
Back in the old days, you had 2 uniforms. Road, home, and you had 2 of each.
Is that right?
And that's it.
I don't even know how many combinations the Brewers have now. Probably 7 or 8, maybe. Here's a 1-2. Bruce fouls another one away. Well, this is not the start that you're looking for if you're a starting pitcher. High pitch count, high stress pitches early. Chase Anderson has already given up 2 hits and a run. He's walked a batter. He's thrown 22 pitches. He does not have an out yet. And Bruce won't bite on the changeup. Count evens at 2-2 now. Pitch number 8 coming. These kind of innings get managers real anxious real fast. Bruce lays off again. 3-2 now.
Pretty good pitch. Boy, changeup just missed that outside corner. Boy, how do you not chase that? That's good, good discipline by Jay Bruce.
Makes you feel like he knows what's coming somehow. And it's ball 4. Boy, this is turning into a nightmare inning for Chase Anderson. 2 walks, 2 hits. Going to draw an early visit from his pitching coach, Derek Johnson.
Well, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. Well, we're hoping for a repeat performance for Chase Anderson. Last time against the Mets, very good. That was in New York, 6 1/3. 2 hits, 1 run. He's in jeopardy of not being able to do that already here in the first. An old foe, Jason Vargas, who has faced him way back in 2010. Had a good year last year with Kansas City. And keep the defense going. Only 11 errors for the crew. Last 33 games. And none on this homestand. So defense has been a big part of their success.
Well, see if the Brewers can settle it down here in this first inning. Visit to the mound by Johnson. And it's going to be Michael Conforto coming up here. Conforto, the center fielder today for the Mets, hitting 5th. And he swings and misses at the first pitch changeup. The Mets are without Juan Lagares as well. Lagares is out for the season, had surgery on his toe. Another outfielder lost. Conforto able to take over the center field duties as he pops this one up, and it is going to be out of play, and it's 0-2. That is the 4th consecutive 2-strike count that Chase Anderson has been able to get into.
Yeah, that put away pitch has eluded him so far. All about command, missing the edges.
A run is in. The bases are loaded. Anderson working with a new catcher here in Eric Kratz. And Conforto doesn't bite on that changeup.
You notice Eric Kratz uses those knee savers. You don't see many guys use those anymore. That was a popular thing back in the day.
Those little wedges on the back of his shin guards.
Take the pressure off your knees.
Might be something we have to reapply here in the booth. There's a swing and a miss. Anderson goes back to the changeup and strikes out Conforto. First out of the ball game.
You can throw it out of the zone down as long as it's over the plate. Remember the ones that to Jay Bruce, they were off the edge. A lot of times you're not going to get a swing on that, but if it's over the confines of the strike zone and down out of the zone, you may get a swing like you did there.
So one away, and now a double play ball could get him out of this mess. That would be best case scenario as Devin Mesoraco takes a strike.
A good guy for it. Doesn't run well.
Mesoraco coming to the Mets from the Reds. He was in that Matt Harvey deal. The man on the mound for the Mets today, Jason Vargas, entering into the rotation for Harvey. That's a fly ball that's going to fall, a base hit. Station to station they go as Mesoraco drives one in. 2-0 Mets. And an RBI single for Devin Mesoraco.
Inside out approach for the Mets catcher. That change up, it's in, and he gets it down on the handle a little bit, but able to fight it off into right. Only 1 run scores. You know, the Mets weren't sure if Yelich was going to be able to get there. They had to hold up.
2-0 Mets now. Still just 1 out. Here's Adrian Gonzalez. 31 pitches. And Anderson has thrown 11 changeups already. Bases loaded. Flores, Bruce, and Mesoraco on the bags for Gonzalez. He goes, a swinging strike.
Hey, you never know sometimes. You know, Anderson sometimes goes out there and he'll throw a large majority of his pitches fastballs. But today, at least in the first, since he's been in trouble early, trying to go to his bread and butter, the changeup, to get him out of it.
Going back to it, and a swing and a foul out of play.
Changeup's a good ground ball pitch if you get it down in the zone, not up there where he just left one.
Adrian Gonzalez, a career .397 hitter here at Miller Park. It's the highest batting average for a player with over 100 at-bats in the game right now. .397 batting average in this venue. Anderson desperately needing a ground ball. 0-2 pitch, and he jams him, fouls it away.
Kind of odd to see Adrian Gonzalez in the 7th spot in the batting order. Always a guy, at least with the Mets, you know, Red Sox, you know, teams like that. He's always been one of those 3-4 hitters. Times have changed.
Traded from the Dodgers to the Braves. Braves released him. Signed with the Mets. Atlanta is picking up most of his salary. Adrian Gonzalez. That's a contract that expires after this season. One ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. 1 away. Gonzalez pops it up. That'll work. Anderson will give way to Perez, who makes a catch on the infield fly rule. And there is out number 2. Jose Reyes now for New York. A familiar name from Mets past, now in the twilight of his career. And Reyes, an aggressive cut on another changeup.
Yeah, good pitch. Keep that changeup down. You can't get hurt too badly.
Reyes at one point one of the premier players in the game, certainly one of the premier leadoff hitters in the game. Suffered a brutal hamstring injury. Thought it was going to be career ending. He was able to rehab and come back from that injury, though. He was able to lay off at this time. Reyes won a batting title in 2011. Hit .337 that year. That was his last All-Star year. 4 times an All-Star. Reyes now 35 years of age. 2 balls and a strike. Bases are loaded up. And Chase misses outside, ball 3. .40 pitches in the first inning. And an inning that is teetering on disaster.
Yeah, but if he can get this out, it'd be a small victory.
Changes everything, doesn't it? 3-1. Reyes takes a strike. Fastball. A lot on the line early in this game. Only in the first. 3-2 pitch. Runners go, and Reyes takes ball 4. 3-0 New York. And Craig Counsell has no choice but to get the bullpen active right now.
Yeah, it'd probably be Hauser, right? I mean, Hauser coming up from the minor leagues yesterday. A starter down in the minors. Not going to be Williams. Get Williams up in case he has to finish this inning. Then maybe bring on Hauser. We'll see.
Mets have batted around. Here's the 9th place hitter, Jason Vargas, the pitcher. And strike 1. The Mets have used their pitcher in the 8th spot in the batting order the first 2 games of this series. They are fortunate that the pitcher is not batting 8th today. There's a strike. 0-2 the count. 3 runs are in on 3 walks and 3 hits. And nothing really hit all that hard.
And it's been the walks. 3 walks have been played a big part in this inning. Just like last night. The base on balls. They're killers.
Brewers won on a walk-off walk. Mets brought in their reliever A.J. Ramos. He threw 6 straight balls. There's a strikeout, and this one is mercifully over. Yikes. Long inning. Chase Anderson gives up 3, and the Brewers have their work cut out for them today. baseball to try to get back into it. They're down 3-0. Lorenzo Cain getting ready to lead off against his former Royals teammate Jason Vargas. Potawatomi batting order with Cain, Yelich, and Braun. Aguilar, Shaw, and Perez make up the middle of Council's order, with Saladino, Eric Kratz making his Brewers debut, and Chase Anderson rounding it out.
Well, Jason Vargas making start number 5. He was pretty good his last time out. And 5 scoreless innings against the Marlins. Gave up only two hits, and after all that, 5 scoreless, still has an earned run average near 10. Really got pounded his first 3 starts. As we mentioned, the Brewers had faced him 1 time before today. That was way back in 2010. Let's check out the Mets defense. They've been good all year. Defense has been solid for New York. Nimmo, Conforto, and Bruce. You got Flores, Reyes gets a start at shortstop. Cabrera, Gonzalez on the right side, and Devin Mesoraco has caught the first 2 games in this series.
Game 3 of this series, all tied at 1 apiece. Got another one to play tomorrow, this 4-gamer with the Mets. Last year, the Brewers won 5 of 7 from New York. Lorenzo Cain takes strike 1 from his old Royals mate. These two are part of the World Series team in 2014 in Kansas City. Cain, little jam shot on a hop out to short. Reyes will make the play for out number 1. Well, Jason Vargas started game 4 of that World Series. That was against San Francisco that year. Giants won that World Series, and then the Royals would come back and win the next year. Vargas now 35 years of age, California native. Hitters will try to get on him early. He throws a lot of breaking stuff early in counts. Just threw a curveball to Yelich.
Yeah, doesn't throw hard. I mean, he'll throw a sinker, low 90s, curveball, and a changeup.
Put together a great first half last year that earned him a spot on the All-Star team. But since early July of last season through today's start, he's made 20 starts. He's got an ERA over 7. Had a really bad second half for the Royals last year, and has struggled out of the gates so far this year for the Mets.
Start of the year giving up 19 earned runs in 12 1/3 innings.
Brewers are hoping to tap into some of that ERA today. They're going to need it. Yelich draws a walk. There's a good start. 1 out base runner here in the first inning. So Vargas had a hand injury, broke his hand in spring training, his right hand. That had him on the disabled list the first month of the year. His first start in the big leagues for the Mets this year was April 28th, and you give up 9 earned runs in 3 2/3, and you're going to fight the ERA for a while. That's hard to chase that down, but he did pitch well his last time out, as Rock mentioned.
Yep, the rotation spot of Matt Harvey, who is now in Cincinnati.
Ryan Braun back in the starting lineup tonight, or today. Braun returned from the disabled list Thursday night, and then Craig Counsell said it was a scheduled day off yesterday. Lots of speculation on why it was scheduled, coming back from an injury. Just trying to get the timing back, play a game, sit a game, let the body recover, or the fact that Noah Syndergaard was on the mound throwing 100.
Throwing 100, yeah, and that'll sit a lot of right-handers down, but
especially when you're just coming back from the DL, right?
Right. It's never been the MO of Ryan Braun throughout his career, but
now Braun missed 10 days, probably something he would not have gone on the disabled list for had it been under the old 15-day DL rule, but they changed that a few years back, and it gives a manager and an organization a lot more flexibility. Players are utilizing that better too, so you're not trying to rush back, and you're not taking up a roster spot. So kind of the best case scenario for both player and organization in a spot like that.
The opportunity, as you mentioned, for a player who's got a little nagging injury to sit out You know, week and a half and then come right back.
Mid back tightness was how they officially diagnosed Ryan Braun. He said it was more toward the side, more toward the intercostal or the oblique area, which scared him a little bit. But he's good to go now, feeling good. Brewers need his bat. And Vargas has fallen behind. 3-1 the count now on Braun, with Yelich at first.
Hey, he's got 8 walks, 16 strikeouts coming into play. That's 17 in the 3rd innings.
Three and one. Braun takes a ball down and away. Vargas misses with a changeup.
One sure way of getting pulled early. If your team scores you 3 runs right away and you start walking guys, nothing gets under the skin of a manager quicker than that.
Saw Mickey Callaway there with Gary DiSarcina, his bench coach. Well, Jesus Aguilar in the cleanup spot today, trying to do just that here in this first inning. He's got 2 men on. Quickly the Brewers bring the tying run to the plate, and a first inning of action in game 3 of this series. 2 on, 1 out. Aguilar takes a strike.
Now you're right about the first pitch off speed. And back-to-back hitters, first pitch breaking pitches. Did it to Yelich. Yeah, Braun now Aguilar.
Now that might have to do with some interesting numbers on Vargas. You know, they keep stats for everything now. But against Jason Vargas, hitters swinging at the first pitch have put 11 balls in play, 8 hits of those 11, including 3 home runs on the first pitch. So you can understand why he is a little leery of throwing a first pitch fastball. But now Aguilar's got the count in his favor, 2-1. Travis Shaw due next. He has been dropped to the 5th spot in the batting order today. 2 on, 1 away. Aguilar trying to do some early damage, and he fouls it back. He was a little out ahead of it.
Looked like a little change up, 82 miles an hour that time, and way out in front. Up out over the plate, might have been ball 4.
Chase Anderson over 40 pitches in the first inning. The Mets score 3 hits and 3 walks. The Brewers quickly get 2 men aboard here in the bottom of the first, and Aguilar strikes out. Tantalized him with that off-speed pitch.
74-mile-an-hour curveball on a 3-2 pitch. Yep, out of the zone. Never was a strike, and Jesus just waves at it.
And Aguilar, who has been such a good hitter for the Brewers the last month, is the first strikeout victim for Vargas. Now Travis Shaw, one of the 2 lefties in the lineup, Shaw and Yelich. Shaw this year hitting 149 against left-handed pitching, has 7 hits in 47 at-bats. Brewers got their 4th walk-off of the year last night, and Travis Shaw's first RBI the easy way with a bases-loaded walk in the 10th inning.
Well, the Brewers walked off the Mets last night. The Mets walked off the Brewers back in New York. A Wilmer Flores home run.
Brewers lost 2 out of 3 at Citi Field in April. Mid-April. Shaw had 3 hits last night, including a home run off Noah Syndergaard in his first at bat. Vargas hits the edge. 1-1 the count. Nice warm afternoon here in Milwaukee today. Roof is open. Ball should fly today. Typically does in these kinds of conditions. Temperature in the upper 80s. Shaw breaks his bat. That's going to fall, a base hit. Rounding third, headed home is Yelich. Braun will go to third, and Travis Shaw drives in another.
All right, he's on a roll now. 3 RBIs yesterday. And fists one out into right field with 2 outs. And fastball in, broke his bat, but driving in the run with 2 outs. Boy, Brewers needed that. Just get on the board after the Mets put 3 on you in the top of the first.
They've already had 5 walks in this game between the 2 starters. We have yet to finish off the first inning. 2 of those walks have scored. It's 3-1 Mets. Here comes Hernan Perez. Perez starting at second base here today as Vargas deals him a fastball strike. It's about all you'll see on the Vargas fastball. 89, 90 miles an hour. As a flurry of off-speed pitches, as we've seen already. He's using the whole toolbox here in the first inning.
Yep, the 4-seamer right there, 88 on the inside corner. Fastball 89 he's topped out at. The curveball at 74. That 74-mile-an-hour curveball struck out Aguilar.
No balls, 2 strikes. Missed with a high fastball. 2 walks and a hit for the Brewers in the bottom of the first inning. Runner goes, and Perez down the line. In the score is Braun. Shaw checking around third. He will score. It's a 2 RBI double for Hernan Perez, and we're all tied up.
He didn't make any plans after the game, did you? Wow. How about this first inning? 6 runs on the board. Brewers tie it up. Vargas trying to use that 88 inside once again. Maybe one too many. And this time Perez able to get it out of the reach of Flores and down the line, and Travis scores from first.
Shaw was on the move with the pitch. Comes all the way around to score. Dave Island, the pitching coach, with a quick visit to the mound as Hernan Perez now with 10 RBIs. He comes up with a 2-out, 2-strike hit. Drives in a pair.
Brewers bounce right off the mat first inning.
Just don't see that.
No.
It is rare when you see, first of all, this much scoring in the first inning. But a team that comes back that quickly, and now Perez takes off, and he's going to steal third base. Vargas paying no mind to Perez. You're not normally running there with 2 outs, but easy pickings.
Yeah.
Stolen base number 3 for Perez, and he's 90 feet away.
Yeah, when you have a pitcher out there that's having a difficult time getting out, the last thing he's worried about is a base runner, particularly a guy at second with 2 outs. Well, if you run in that situation, you had better make it, and he does.
Tyler Saladino can give the Brewers the lead in this bottom of the first. Saladino taking over as the everyday shortstop for now. Orlando Arcia sent back to AAA prior to the game yesterday. Tyler swung the bat well since he arrived with the Brewers. He had been in Colorado Springs, started the year with the White Sox, playing in his 13th game in the major leagues this year.
Showing good pop at the plate, already 3 home runs.
This is his 7th game with the Brewers. One of those 3 homers and inside the Parker. A swing and a miss, and the inning is over, but the Brewers come back quickly. Giving up 3 in the first. scoring three in the bottom of the first. Travis Shaw with his club-leading 35th RBI. And then Hernan Perez with 2 outs delivers 2 more. We're all even at 3 after 1. Game as we go to the second. Mets got 3 in the first, brought 9 batters to the plate, and now Brandon Nimmo leading off this second inning for the Mets, sending Yelich back to the wall, and it's 4-3 Mets. Goodness gracious, this game is crazy to start.
Got to get this guy out of town. Wow, how hot has he been? Brandon Nimmo, remember that name. Yeah, fastball down the middle, a little above the knees, and Nimmo drops the head of the bat on it. Knocks one out of here.
It was a great looking swing he has.
He was hitless yesterday after having a huge game in the first game of the series.
Yeah, had 4 hits in the opener, which was a new career high for him. Here's Cabrera now. Well, somehow these 2 pitchers are going to have to figure it out. Chase Anderson threw a ton of pitches, over 40 pitches in that first inning. He's already at 48. And the Mets are back on top 4-3. He's faced 10 batters thus far, Chase has. He's given up 4 hits and 3 walks. Cabrera had a single in the first. There's the strike. 1-2 the count on the switch hitter.
He's starting to get a better feel for the changeup, but the fastball has been getting a lot of the plate.
One ball, 2 strikes. Cabrera right off the end of the bat. Anderson was the Brewers opening day starter this year. Great honor for him. Greg Counsell revealed that news fairly early in spring training. Take away some of the drama of it all. There's a called strike 3. Anderson drops a changeup on him for a strikeout and the first out of the second inning.
Well, he's starting to get a better touch and feel for that pitch. Changeup's always big for him. Able to catch the edge. Check out Kratz. Holds it right there for Marty Foster.
Anderson went 6 1/3 against the Mets back on the 14th of April. Only one earned run allowed. One of his better starts of the year. His best start of the season, probably his first start of the year. Against San Diego, that was on the road on opening day when 6 shutout innings, only gave up 1 hit in that game. He's had some moments already this season. A lot of low hit games for Chase Anderson. Allowed only 3 hits against the Diamondbacks his last time out. In that game against the Mets, Rock gave up just 2 hits in 6 1/3.
Yeah, looked good. Yeah, his shortest start of the year, his second start against the Cardinals. 4 innings, 4 runs.
Wilmer Flores with 1 away. Had a little flare single to right. Drove in a run in the first inning. Scored a run as well. A ball and 2 strikes. Got in on his hands. Fly ball to right. Yelich is there for out number 2.
Hey, support the mayor of Ding Dong City's re-election bid by heading to Miller Park for tomorrow's season series finale against the Mets, where all fans will take home a one-of-a-kind Travis Shaw bobblehead courtesy of U.S. Cellular. Learn more at Brewers.com.
Big day tomorrow. I'm getting a lot of requests for the mayor of Ding Dong City bobble.
Yeah. You tell him to buy tickets?
I told him you got to be at the ballpark.
Right.
To swing and a miss.
It's not like you have an ample supply of Ding Dong City bobbleheads.
We're not stocking up Ding Dong City bobbles out here in the booth. We're just looking for reasons to say that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I want that card back so I can just randomly read it throughout the year. Always puts a smile on my face when I see that.
Travis Shaw was given that nickname while he was in Boston by a Boston reporter who should probably be getting royalties at this point. 0-2 pitch, and Bruce fouls it back. Should have trademarked that nickname.
Yeah.
I always asked Bob Uecker about the famous call, the get up, get out of here, gone call, and if he ever thought about trademarking that. And he said, no, I never really thought about it. It's my gift to the fans.
And any broadcaster that wants to pirate it.
Nobody would dare steal that one.
No.
There's Mr. Baseball. 2 cups of coffee and some whiteout. That's Hall of Fame broadcasting at its best right there. Although there's no telling what's in those coffee cups, to be honest with you. It's always great to see Uke at the ballpark.
And miss him on the road these days. Really do.
A ball and 2 strikes on Jay Bruce. 2 outs in the inning. And Bruce pulls it foul. Jay Bruce walked his first time up. He took a number of very close pitches in that first at bat. And there's a little half swing. Did he go? He did not.
Yeah, could have been a strike, just a little off the edge. Rob Drake very nonchalantly saying no, he did not. Ooh, I mean, really?
I don't know about that.
Must not have been watching.
2-2 pitch. Broken bat. Fly ball into right center. And Kane's got it to end the inning. So Anderson gives up a leadoff homer to Nimmo. Mets have the lead again, 4-3.
And he spoke with us yesterday after being acquired in a trade with the Yankees on joining the Brewers and also the challenge at hand of learning a brand new pitching staff.
It's not me necessarily learning them, it's them being comfortable with me. And not that I have the answers. It's they need to be able to do what they're doing and what makes them successful. And they need to be able to feel comfortable with knowing that I know them and I want the best for them. And that's just time. That takes time, and it's nothing that's overnight, but it's also something that's exciting for me.
Counsell said he wanted to get Kratz a start here this weekend to just get that process underway, and he did tell us yesterday he was able to catch his first bullpen with Brent Suter, so he said, I have at least one name down. But Counsell said that this morning he came in fully prepared for the meeting with Chase Anderson and Derek Johnson. He had done his homework, he was ready to go, and he said that's one of the reasons of why you go out and you acquire a veteran catcher like him, because you know he's capable of doing this, especially mid-season and getting up to speed.
It's really exaggerated. I mean, you know, when people wonder, you know, how you can have a catcher come in late and expect him to know what these guys want to do. Well, they're big league catchers. They're going to learn quickly. Remember, that same conversation was had when Stephen Vogt came over last year. Really didn't miss a beat. I mean, it was a seamless transition. It's going to be the same here with Kratz.
Kratz has a great reputation, strong clubhouse presence, handles his business well, outstanding defensive catcher. You don't hang around till you're 37, 38 years of age unless you bring some serious intangibles to the picture.
Right, smart. He's smart. He does his homework.
Chase Anderson strikes out. 2 quick outs here for Vargas in the second. After the Brewers scored 3 off Vargas in the first to tie the game. Brandon Nimmo with a solo homer in the top of this inning. Mets lead 4-3. Well, Erik Kratz is the oldest Brewer to appear in a regular season game since his manager Craig Counsell played in his final game as a Brewer back in 2011. Kratz is 37 years of age, 345 days. Craig Counsell was 41 years of age when he played in his final game as a Brewer back in 2011. Age is just a number, Rock.
State of mind. Really is.
It's the one position on the field where if your body can handle the toll of catching, and Kratz for the most part has been a backup catcher his entire career. The more experience you have, you become more and more valuable, and you see that all around the game. Guys like A.J. Ellis, or remember Henry Blanco, and he played nearly till he was 40. It's a catching position is valuable in the expertise that you can bring.
And it really isn't that difficult if you apply yourself. You learn a pitcher very quickly.
Kane out ahead of a changeup from Vargas. 2-2 the count on Lorenzo.
But I like what he said. It's not so much me having to learn them. They have to feel comfortable with me. But I think both of those things work hand in hand. The pitcher's going to feel comfortable with him. He gives a good target. He sets up well. It's over the plate. It gives you a good setup. And he's a student of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to coach someday. Coach. He'll manage. I mean, a guy like Kratz, yeah, been around a while, seen everything.
Full count to Kane. Lines one to left field, a base hit. 2-strike hitting for Lorenzo Kane. And the Brewers have a man on with 2 outs.
Has that good approach. A mistake by Vargas right down the middle of the plate, only 88 miles an hour. That little slight uppercut from Lorenzo, and lines went into right field or left field.
Kane 1 out of 2. And that'll give Christian Yelich an at-bat in this second inning. Yelich walked and scored in the first inning. Brewers got down 3-0 quickly, and then Shaw drove in the first run to make it 3-1. Hernan Perez with a 2-out, 2-strike double, driving in 2 to tie it. A lot of offensive activity in this game. A ball and no strikes on Yelich. And there's strike one. Both teams decked out in their Memorial Day weekend gear. I noticed the Brewers even took the step of the green stickers on the helmets. That's next level.
That's a lot of work down there. Jason Schauger, the Brewers equipment manager. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the M was pink for Mother's Day.
Yelich into center field. That'll be run down for out number 3. Good work down there, Boomer. Boys are looking sharp here today on a Saturday afternoon.
Becomes the youngest AL player to hit home runs in 4 straight games. He did it with a go-ahead home run in the 7th to help the Yankees win it 2-1 last night. And he has homered in 5 of his 6 last games. So again, that's pretty good company. The 21-year-old, the youngest in AL history to do it.
Yankees are loaded up. Good stuff, Sophia. Fun to watch. They've got so much talent. Yankees and Red Sox, that rivalry is back in a big way. Think about Torres. He had 11 RBIs in AAA this year to start the year. In just 14 games, then he gets called up to the big leagues. He's got 9 homers and 24 runs batted in already. He's played in just 28 big league games. 21 years of age, man.
A lot of great talent out there, isn't there?
Michael Conforto launches one way out of here. His 2nd home run of the series makes it 5-3 Mets. Chase Anderson is having a rough day. Those young lefties, Nimmo and Conforto, making headlines in New York as well.
Man, changeup. He left that one up in the zone. You could see the reaction from Kratz as soon as he made contact. That was not going to end well. One of the few times that Anderson has left that changeup up in the zone over the heart of the plate, and he paid for it. Every mistake he makes seems to be getting hit hard.
Conforto's found that home run stroke. That's his 5th in the last 15 games. They were worried about his power. He had a brutal shoulder injury last year in late August. Separated that shoulder, dislocated it while swinging. And so they were concerned about the power and had it gone away for Conforto. He had just 1 home run in his first 23 games, 5 in his last 15 now, including 2 in this series. He is a very good young hitter.
He hit one last night right down the right field line, a little out in front, kept the hands back, which showed a lot of power to line it out of here.
2-2, and down goes Mesoraco as strikeout. First out of the inning. Chase has 4 strikeouts. And he's given up 2 homers. He's allowed 5 hits. Most home runs allowed this year. Anderson is tied for the Major League lead or National League lead. One away, Adrian Gonzalez at the plate. And Gonzalez will pull one through, a base hit. Single to right with 1 out. Second hit of the inning. Hey, we remind you that the 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1 with every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. A run is in on a home run from Conforto. 1 gone in this third. Man at first for Jose Reyes. On the ground, scooped by Aguilar, out at second, and Anderson not there in time. Would have been tough to get Reyes anyway.
Yeah, well, good decision by Saladino not to throw that baseball. That would not have ended well. A lot of traffic over there at first base. You see Chase hesitates, and as you mentioned, probably wouldn't have got him anyway. Reyes still runs very well. Good decision to hold on to it. That's the other part of the defense that we've been talking about for the Brewers. Not just errors, but making good decisions, throwing to the right bases. We saw Santana with a great throw in yesterday's game.
When to throw, when not to throw, just as important.
Right.
So the pitcher Vargas will be cleared here in this third inning. Anderson struck him out in the first. That ended the 3-run first inning. Rough way to start the game for Anderson. Coming out of the bullpen. Your pregame warm-up routine, and then you jump into a grind right away. 5-3 Mets, only in the third. And Vargas drops a bunt down. Chase will field it. Makes a good throw to win the inning. But the Mets get another leadoff homer. 3 innings, 3 leadoff batters have scored, and the last 2 innings on home runs.
Afternoon, the Brewers take on the Cardinals, and as part of the Memorial Day festivities, fans can get $6 Terrace Reserve tickets and enjoy $1 hot dogs. Reserve your seats today at brewers.com.
Sunny Saturday at Miller Park. Roof is open. Beautiful day for baseball. Brewers are down 5-3. Well, before the game, a ceremonial first pitch by an Olympic gold medal winner in curling, Matt Hamilton. His summer of fun just now beginning. Boy, he's been all over the place. He's had a great time. He's been bouncing around playing in celebrity golf tournaments and hanging out at NHL playoff games. And today, the Madison, Wisconsin resident got to throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
He should have swept that as he got the home plate over there with Robinson Diaz, right? Sweet.
That was so fun to watch at the Olympics.
Yeah.
It was so compelling in Rio this year to watch Hamilton and his team, and had him mic'd up. That was actually one of the more entertaining things.
Have you ever tried that?
I've never
Curling,
I've never done it.
I actually have. It's not easy.
I would love to try it.
Yeah. They have a curling, I don't know what you call it, arena?
Curling club? Or
Curling club, yeah, in St. Paul. And I went over there once.
Ryan Braun swinging away at the first pitch, fouls it away. So how'd you do? I mean, were you a better sweeper, or?
No, I didn't sweep. I mean, I just kind of
fired the rock down there.
Right, yeah, took out the back wall.
I mean, it's a touch and feel game, Rock.
No, you know why they call it curling, right? You spin them and they kind of curl around into the target. Yeah.
That's good curling background. Anything else?
That's it.
Is that your only nugget about curling? Because you're tailor-made for that sport.
Yeah.
Your nickname,
Rock,
is perfect.
Those things are heavy.
It's fun to watch, especially when there's a medal on the line, and winning the gold medal.
Yeah.
As Braun swings and misses, down he goes on strikes. First out of the inning. Vargas has settled down now after giving up 3 in the first. You've had a lot of time on the ice. You're a big skater. You played hockey.
Played men's league hockey. You know, many years ago. That was before the the back started to go.
Were you the enforcer in that scenario?
No, there's no such thing as enforcers in men's hockey. I mean, contact is by accident, actually.
Mostly guys just leaning on each other.
Running into each other. Can't stop. Yeah. It's no check league.
A no check league.
Yeah, but there is checking because, as I mentioned, you just kind of run into each other.
It's also a no stop league.
Right.
Aguilar out in front of an off-speed pitch. A changeup from Vargas.
I heard you were a good skater at one point.
No, I'm the worst.
Really?
Oh, I'm a disaster. It is so foreign to me.
Weak ankles?
I don't know. I can't even. When I moved here in 07, I thought, I need to learn how to skate. I've never done it. Never even been on skates until I moved here. Maybe once as a kid at the mall. I don't even remember.
Got to hook you up.
But man, I couldn't even stand up without falling.
There's all kind of rinks.
I finally told my daughter, who was buzzing around on skates like a champion at the time. She was in 2nd grade. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go be an athlete and just go fast. And there's Aguilar, sends one deep to center. That is back there, and it is off the scoreboard. Jesus Aguilar, a booming home run. Number 8 for Jesus. And it's 5-4 Mets.
Jumped all over that pitch. Kept the hands back, and boy, he's strong. He is strong. And providing most of the power on that home run. fastball up and away, 87 miles an hour, and stayed back long enough to knock it off the scoreboard.
Left to bat 106 miles an hour. And a tape measure home run by Aguilar. Banging off that scoreboard in center field. Oh,
nice easy swing. Fastball away. Look at it. I mean, that's just a very nice swing. Point of contact. You don't have to wind up and swing wild. You know, it's bat speed at the point of contact, and there's a good example of it right there for Jesus.
It's camera shy too. Travis Shaw in a 2-0 count. Takes strike one. If you can't root for Jesus Aguilar, you don't have a heart.
Yeah, no kidding.
What a story. That guy grinding away in the minor leagues in the Cleveland Indians system. Couldn't get a break. Couldn't find his way to the big leagues. When he did, it was rare opportunities. Listen to this bang off the scoreboard. How good does that feel? Not many people know how that feels, actually. Into right center, and that's going to fall. Travis Shaw on his way to second. Throw comes in late. It's a double for Shaw. Well, that ball was in the air a long time, but Shaw hit it in the perfect spot between Conforto and Bruce. And now the tying run in scoring position.
Man, another fastball. Again, making mistakes with the fastball is Vargas. And this one very similar to the pitch that Shaw muscled into right field his first time up. This time barrels it up a little bit better. Nobody could get there. Travis, good hustle into second base.
Last year, Travis Shaw with 34 doubles. Had 34 doubles the prior year with the Red Sox. Been a doubles machine. He has 14 now for the season to go along with his 13 home runs. Hernan Perez drove in two with 2 outs in the first inning. That tied the game. He's got a chance to tie it up again for Milwaukee in the bottom of the third. Time is asked for and granted. Fans yelling out for a balk. That certainly would have been a balk, but I don't think they saw the fact that timeout was called by the home plate umpire. No balls and a strike. 0-2 to count on Hernan. Perez thriving in that utility role once again. Playing all over. Got to start in left field in this series. He's played third, second. He can play every position on the field. And he's above average in the corner outfield spots, third base, shortstop, and second base. I wouldn't say he's above average on the mound, but he can get through an inning.
He gets some outs. And he has.
And he is the emergency catcher as well. Haven't seen him yet back there. One away, Shaw at second. Perez down on strikes. Vargas going slow and slower.
Yeah, after Perez able to whistle a fastball that was on the inside corner down the third baseline to tie the game. Trying to change it up a little bit. Change up down and away, and Perez tried to pull it.
That was his slowest changeup yet. At 81 miles an hour. He's been throwing that changeup 83, 84. 2 outs for Saladino. Strikeout victim in the first. That ended the 3-run first inning for the Brewers. Well, you hope Saladino doesn't put a lot of pressure on himself now that Arcia is in AAA. I think Saladino knows it's going to be probably a brief stay in AAA for Arcia.
Well, you got Eric Sogard who can play shortstop. You might see him tomorrow against the right-hander.
Council has a platoon at his middle infield spots with the combo of Saladino and Sogard, VR, Perez. Eric Sogard had a big hit last night. Scored the winning run.
Yeah, he needed that.
Snapped an 0 for 28 streak at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Brewers shortstop. With Shaw at second base carrying the tying run. Saladino back up the middle. A base hit. Here comes Shaw. No throw. All tied at 5. Saladino delivers in the 3rd.
Boy, I'd love to get that kind of run production with 2 outs out of your number 7 hitter. Saladino making good contact on a pitch out away from him. And Travis Shaw running on contact, able to score easily without a throw. The guy just keep coming back. 2 runs here in the 3rd.
Tyler Saladino with 7 RBIs in his 7th game as a Brewer. And here is Eric Kratz. He saw 1 pitch his first time up. His first at bat as a Brewer. You were remembering a big home run for Eric Kratz against Milwaukee. That was back in 2012. I was looking at the box score of that game. I couldn't remember all the details, but then looking at the box score, you remember it was one of the bigger giveaways of the year. The Brewers had a 6-1 lead in that game going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Zach Greinke had started the game for Milwaukee, and Eric Kratz hit a 2-run homer off Manny Parra, and the Phillies scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th. They won the game. And that's about how the season would go the rest of the year in 2012. Greinke was later traded to the Angels that year. Not too long after that start, as a matter of fact.
Right. And that's what I was talking about with Kratz. I mean, you know, the good defensive side. I mean, you make a mistake, he will hit one a ton. Never a guy that's going to hit for a big average. But you got to make your pitches.
Had a couple of years with the Phillies where he hit 9 home runs each season. And before you scoff at the single digits, he hit 9 homers in just 157 plate appearances in 2012. And then the next year hit 9 homers in 218 plate appearances. If you played every day, you'd get about 600 or so plate appearances.
Right. He was backing up Ruiz, right?
That's correct.
Back in those days. So he played just about every day. So playing time was very limited.
Only played in 50 games that year in 2012. But was productive when he played. Kratz went from the Phillies to the Royals, the Blue Jays, went back to the Phillies in 15. Had some time with the Astros. And then got a little time in the big leagues last year with the Yankees. There goes Saladino, and Kratz lines it right to Reyes. Hit it like a bullet, but right at the Mets shortstop. And that will retire the side. But the Brewers score a pair, and Jesus Aguilar, with his 8th home run, bangs it off the scoreboard in center field. All tied at 5 at Miller Park. We got a wild one going today. The Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. A lot of activity on the base paths here today already. A lot of traffic, as they say. Chase Anderson goes back to work, trying to settle in here. 5-5 game, top 4. Brandon Nimmo, who homered in the 2nd inning, will lead off this 4th inning. He has had 3 plate appearances. This is the 3rd time leading off. Has a walk and a homer, and he scored twice. There was a stretch here for Nimmo. His last game played against the Marlins on the Mets' last homestand, and his first game here Thursday night, where he had 8 straight plate appearances, reaching base safely, and at one point had 6 consecutive hits. There's a strikeout. Anderson comes at him with a fastball for out number 1.
Yeah, good pitch right in on his hands. Well, we've seen him really take good swings on pitches outer half. 93 inside corner. Actually got a little bit more of the plate than I thought, and he still swings through it.
Strikeout number 5 for Chase Anderson. The Nickels are wild today. 5 runs apiece. Anderson with 5 strikeouts. Vargas has 5 strikeouts for the Mets. Cabrera on the first pitch. Sun Field. Braun fighting it. He's got it. He's been here a long time. He knows how to play left field in this ballpark.
I'm just getting ready to say, if anybody knows how to deal with it, it'd be Brian Braun. Hey, no matter where you are, you'll never miss a second of the action with MLB.TV Premium. Enjoy HD streams of all out-of-market games on over 400 different devices. Plus, get a free MLB.com at-bat premium subscription when you sign up.
Braun with the sunglasses on his hat. Doesn't feel like he needs them right now. That setting sun beyond or above the first base grandstand can create some challenges. There's usually 2 waves of it as well. There's the sun that's now shining down over the roof, but there's also that wave that's now going to create some shadows that comes through the panels right below the roof line. This could be a tricky ballpark in the afternoon.
And you see the pitcher in the shade, and at some point, not too far from now or long from now, that the hitter's going to be in the sun, so the ball is going to be coming out of the shadows into the sun, making it a bit of a challenge to pick up spin rotation.
Anderson could use a quick inning here. He has thrown a ton of pitches. Next one will be number 88 as we play in the 4th inning.
Well, he leads off the bottom of this inning. Let's see if Craig Counsell elects to go to the bench.
Does have activity in his bullpen. There's a strike. Dan Jennings, the left-hander, getting loose. Jay Bruce is the next hitter. He's a lefty. Might be a spot for Jennings if you don't feel Anderson can get through it.
Yeah, you got Bruce Conforto coming up, 2 lefties.
Chase trying to put the lid on this thing here. The Mets have scored in each of the first 3 innings against him. Into center field. That is down, a base hit. Wilmer Flores with his 2nd hit, and twice in this game he has 2 strike hits.
Well, is he coming out? Yep, here
sure
he comes.
Is.
Yep,
and he's just going to use Jennings to try to get out of this inning. No double switch here, so it's going to be a 1-out appearance for Dan Jennings. And Counsell is going to take his opening day starter out. Chase Anderson, tough day at the office. However, the game is tied at 5. Pitching change at Miller Park. 2/3. Fortunately, the Brewers have been able to swing the bats, and this game is all tied up. Just not his day today. He'll have better ones. The good news, the Brewers have the best bullpen ERA in the big leagues coming into play today. And how about on this homestand? Almost nothing. A .93 ERA, 20 strikeouts, and 19 in the third inning. And give up 10 hits.
And the Brewers pitching staff has had good solid defense behind them. I did a little ciphering here, which could be a little dangerous, but you know, with Jennings coming in with a man at first, the Brewers for the season, the guys that are in the bullpen right now have allowed only 10 inherited runners to score, and they've inherited 48.
Wow.
I mean, that's an outstanding percentage.
Jeremy Jeffress stranded 3 last night. He's up to 20 now, right? 20 inherited.
Yep, 20, and he's only allowed 2 to score. Now with Jennings, 5 have scored, 17 he's inherited. So 5 of 17 is all for Jennings that have scored when he's come in.
Inherits 1 here at first. Jay Bruce, the batter. 2 outs in the Mets' 4th inning. Brewers tie it up with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd, including a long home run by Aguilar. 3 homers in the game today. Mets have home runs from their young lefty hitters, Nimmo and Conforto. And Aguilar hit his 8th of the year last inning. Brewers have RBIs from Perez and Shaw to go along with the Aguilar home run. 0-2 the count on Jay Bruce. Bruce hitting .209 against lefties this year, just 9 hits, 43 at bats. His overall batting average is .224 now. OPS is really low for Jay Bruce. First quarter of the season has been down for him. In the first year of a 3-year deal, a free agent contract he signed this offseason. Bruce and Votto broke in together with the Reds. Dusty Baker made no bones about it at the time he was managing. Said these are everyday players.
Yeah.
They're not matchup players. No platoon here, and they've been that from day one. I was very curious to see how Bruce was going to fare in New York last year. Didn't feel like a good fit when the trade went down, but it was a good fit, so much so that Jay Bruce re-signed with the Mets on a 3-year contract. So he enjoyed his time. He was traded from the Mets to the Indians. There's a ground ball ranging over Saladino. Hey, look at that play. Tyler Saladino with the shift on comes up with a gem to take care of Jay Bruce. Little Robbie Alomar look right there. Gloved it right to his feet. All gravy after that.
topper this afternoon. Day game action at Fenway Park, a series between the Braves and the Red Sox. And for Andrew Benintendi, quite a day at the plate. 3 for 4, a home run, a triple. He would finish with 3 RBIs on the night. The Red Sox just continue to roll. Good one going there between Atlanta and Boston.
2 first-place teams in their respective leagues and divisions. Dan Jennings is going to hit right here. The Brewers reliever.
Yeah.
Probably wished he wasn't after that bee sting on that jam shot. You see him shaking his hand out?
Yeah. Well, four players on the bench for Craig Counsell. We're still very early in this game.
Third career at bat for Jennings. Beg your pardon, Rob.
Yeah, and the fact that Michael Conforto leads off the next inning.
So instead of going with the double switch, Counsell just lets his pitcher ride at the plate, his reliever. And the Mets making a change as well. So Jason Vargas goes 3 innings, gives up 5 earned runs. Jacob Rame is on for the 2nd time in this series.
And Mets bullpen's been pretty good. A 372 bullpen earned run average. Rame has been good. We saw him first game of the series on Thursday through a scoreless inning. Yeah, I'm thinking 4th inning, a little early for double switches when you only have 4 guys on your bench.
Yeah.
So you let Jennings hit. He's leading off. Maybe if it was a different scenario with, you know, when the pitcher spot was going to be up, maybe some men on, you might go to the bench. But yeah, we're early yet.
Jennings got a hit earlier this year for the Brewers, and a swing and a miss for out number 1. And here comes Lorenzo Cain now. Back to the top of the Brewers order in a 5-5 game. Cain has a 6-game hitting streak going. 8 hits in those 6 games. 8 for 22 at the plate. His last 22, 364 average during that stretch. Cain's on the home run leaderboard. He has 6 on the year. Has a home run during this hitting streak. Lorenzo with a single off of Vargas in the 2nd inning. 3rd at bat of the game. Both starters unable to get through 4. Vargas 3 innings, 5 earned runs. Anderson 3 2/3 with 5 earned runs. Each with 5 strikeouts. Cain, a little flare foul. Bring your glove, he is rewarded. Skiba down there, Rock. Making fans. He said, I'm going to catch you a ball today, young lady. Three and 2 now to Lorenzo Cain. Jacob Rame in his 1st inning, coming out early from that bullpen. Ball 4. Cain draws the walk. The club leader in that category.
On base percentage at .385 before that at bat. How good has he been this year, Lorenzo Cain?
As advertised.
Yeah. Terrific center fielder.
Lorenzo Cain is in the top 10 in the league in walks. Bryce Harper is the league leader with 43. Cain has 30 now. A lot of those Harper walks are intentional passes. A lot of the big hitters are up there in walks. Joey Votto, Freddie Freeman, Goldschmidt, Harper. Not saying they haven't earned their walks, but there aren't a lot of free passes for Lorenzo Cain at the top of the order. Bryce Harper has 8 intentional walks this season of the 43 he's drawn. And you guessed it, Cain does not have one. Yelich at the plate, and a line drive right field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Cain on his horse. Cain around third. He's going to try to score. Throw comes in late. It's a triple for Yelich. And the Brewers have a 6-5 lead.
Oh, he just hits a rocket down that line, and he knew once it got all the way down in that corner, it was a changeup, and Christian able to wait back. And look at Lorenzo right away on his horse. You knew he was going to score, and then Yelich with his good wheels ends up at third base. Guys are swinging it today.
Well, that was a pleasure to watch Yelich and Cain run around the bases.
Right.
Man, both of those guys were flying.
I've been saying it all year. I'm reminded of Robin Yount when I watch Yelich run.
That's
the
a
way he
good
cuts
call.
the bags, it's amazing.
Great call. Doesn't waste any real estate turning around those bases. Infield is in. Braun took a mighty swipe at Rame. Second triple of the year for Yelich. He drives in his 21st run. He gives the Brewers a 6-5 lead. Brewers were down 3-0 in the first inning, and then down 5-3. And we're only in the fourth. Braun back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. The drawn in infield. In to score is Yelich. 7-5 Milwaukee.
And dangerous bringing the infield in. We're still early, fourth inning. Well, had they been back, the run certainly would have scored, but it would have been an out. Braun gets jammed, but able to fight it off into center field for an RBI. Yeah, working him inside. 97, pretty good fastball from Rame, and because the infield was on the grass, he sneaks it into center field, so 2 runs in for the Brewers.
Easy to play manager here in the booth, for sure. We always admit that, but the feel of this game, Rock, it just feels like a lot of runs are on the board and going to be scored. That's risky to bring the infield in a spot like that.
Yeah, with your third hitter up. Yeah. Risk reward. That's what it's all about. And they got beat by it that time.
The Brewers' success from their bullpen probably has as much to do with that as anything.
I was just getting ready to say, I think Mickey Callaway thinking, 2 runs against his Brewers bullpen is a tall order.
Jesus Aguilar at the plate with 1 away. 2 runs are in. A 1-out walk by Cain. Yelich with a triple. And then Braun with the RBI single. Now Braun goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second is way late. Braun's in. Stolen base for Ryan Braun, number 5.
Yeah, second of the day for Milwaukee. Perez stole third base in the first inning. Big lead, good jump, no chance for Mesoraco, even if it's on the bag.
Braun popped up there. The Mets took a quick look at it. He was on the base. Got to stay on the base these days with replay. Aguilar a wave and a miss. 1-2 now on Jesus. He belted his 8th home run of the year in the 3rd. He has 24 RBIs now. And down he goes on strikes. 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Rame.
Yeah, up in the zone. Good luck trying to get to that. Even Aguilar is a good fastball hitter.
Hissing as it goes by.
Yeah, that's tough duty up and in.
So both of the outs in this inning for Rame are strikeouts. 2 runs are in, though, on 2 hits, and it'll be Travis Shaw now. 2 for 2 today is Shaw. Single and an RBI in the first. He had a double and a run scored in the third. He scored twice. Shaw right now is top 10 in the National League in most of the major offensive categories. Top 10 in homers, extra base hits, total bases, RBIs, slugging percentage. Top 10 in doubles and runs. That 5 for 50 that he was enduring right before the last road trip seems like a distant memory now. Out in front of one, a pop up that's going to stay playable. Flores will make the catch to end the inning, but the Brewers strike again. Down 3-0 in the first. They've come back twice, and now they have the lead. Yelich with an RBI triple, Braun with an RBI single. 7-5 Brew Crew as we go to the 5th.
For heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
7-5 Brewers. They lead the Mets as we go to the 5th inning. And a roller coaster ride today here at the ballpark. Saturday afternoon baseball from Miller Park. Dan Jennings continues after he got a plate appearance in the bottom of the 4th inning. That probably got him going a little bit.
Yeah.
Relievers rarely get at bats, so when they do,
Get the blood pumping.
yeah, man. Well, he gets the at bat because Counsell needs him to pick up some innings here after Chase Anderson goes 3 2/3. Brewers have the 2nd most innings pitched out of their relief corps this year, behind the Reds. The 1-1 is low to Conforto. 2 balls and a strike on Michael Conforto. You figure the Brewers are fully loaded in the bullpen minus Josh Hader. He's probably the only one not available today after 2 innings yesterday. 2 impressive innings again for Hader. Struck out 4. Struck out the side in the 8th last night. There's a bouncing ball. The shift is on at Saladino. The throw, and unable to be dug by Aguilar. Great effort there by Saladino. And Conforto beats it out.
Yeah, Conforto gets down that line really well, but that's a pretty good play by Saladino, getting there, getting rid of it quickly, but just not able to get enough on it. Momentum going away from first base. Good stretch by Aguilar, just not able to hold on.
Saladino shows you a lot out there at short.
And if he holds on, he might get him. Tough pick.
Yeah, bang, bang. That would have been a review, I'm sure. Either way. So it's a lead base runner against Jennings. Conforto's second hit. Devin Mesoraco now. Curveball for a strike. Mesoraco had an RBI single in the first. He's done a good job here for the Mets. Reds traded him for Matt Harvey. Reds are taking a flyer on Harvey, hoping they can harness that talent. And the Mets losing their starting catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. He's out for the season, requiring Tommy John surgery on the elbow. It's a big loss for the Mets.
Good opportunity for Mesoraco, who wasn't getting a whole lot of playing time in Cincinnati. Tucker Barnhart getting most of the activity behind home plate for the Reds.
Well, it's easy to see the path. I mean, they say you never lose a job to injury, but Mesoraco has had so many injuries and has missed so much time as Jennings strikes him out for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, essentially 2 years worth. I mean, that's one way you can lose your job if you're out that long.
Tucker Barnhart has emerged as a real talent for the Reds. He's their captain. He's everything they want in a player. And
won a Gold Glove last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
So trading from a rare area of depth behind the plate. Most teams don't have that. How about that? Look at that scene right there. Jennings short-stepped Adrian Gonzalez after Conforto started and stopped. Look at this pitch. Whee! 69 miles an hour fastball.
Gonzalez think, what just happened?
Did somebody call timeout? Wouldn't have one of a snow cone in the speed pitch. And now a breaking ball, and it's ball one. There you go. Oh, I'm pitching.
Yeah. Nobody called time.
I don't think I've seen anything like that. That's risky, man. It's a big league hitter up there.
Well, it's under hitting speed. Let's put it that way.
No doubt.
It surprises you. It's like the ephus.
He's playing the confusion card, and it worked. Runner at first, one out. Gonzalez on the ground. Chance to turn it here. Shaw. Perez lost the handle. Had a long way to go to get to the bag.
Yeah, he was pulled a little bit far away from second base because of the left-handed hitter, and Shaw had to double clutch to make sure that Perez was going to get to the bag, and then the timing was all messed up at that point. That would have been an interesting double play.
I changed my stance on that. I used to get frustrated about, double plays that weren't turned in situations like that. I had a good chat a couple of years ago with Craig Counsell about that and the shifting that goes on, and you take the good with the bad, and yes, that might have been a double play to end the inning. It certainly would have in a normal defensive alignment, but the data on the shifting has taken so many hits away that you're willing to give up an out here or there. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
How many outs, how many hits.
Well, it works for sure. I mean, it works. No doubt it works. But every now and again, a guy's going to squib one and go against the ship. We saw Travis Shaw do that last night. Double down the line and left.
Jose Reyes takes a ball low.
But you set your defense based on where a hitter normally hits the ball with authority, where he hits the ball hard. You can't account for the jam shots.
And the 1-1 misses away. So Jennings in a 2-1 count on Reyes. Reyes walked with the bases loaded in the first inning. That was the third and final run of that first inning for the Mets. They led 3-0 early. Brewers tied it in the bottom of the first with 3, and then the Mets went back on top in the second. Brewers were down 4-3, then 5-3 before a 2-run third inning. Aguilar's homer and then the RBI by Saladino tied it at 5. And the Brewers just got 2 in the bottom of the fourth to take the lead. 16 hits combined already. We're only in the 5th inning. Two the count to Jose Reyes. And that's fair down the line. That's going to get down into the corner. Gonzalez running. Braun cuts it off. They're going to send Gonzalez. And no throw. Gonzalez scores from first. It's 7-6 Brewers as Jose Reyes with an RBI double.
Yeah, Reyes' playing time has been limited, but got a slider down in the zone over the plate. You see Shaw off the line, just misses it. And by the time Ryan Braun gets it in, even Adrian Gonzalez, who's not running all that well these days, never has been really fast, able to score. So the Mets pecking away.
Huffing and puffing is Gonzalez. So Reyes with a 2-out 2-strike double, and it's a 1-run game. The Mets out hitting the Brewers now 9-7, 9-8, I beg your pardon. Ahmed Rosario will pinch hit for New York. Rain is out. 1 inning for the hard-throwing right-handed reliever. Rosario takes a strike. Rosario crushed a home run last night to center field. He's been starting at shortstop the last 2 games. Mickey Callaway gives Reyes the start this afternoon. You'll probably see Rosario back in there tomorrow.
Yeah, he took a Junior Guerra fastball and knocked it way back in center. 437 feet. A no doubter.
His 3rd homer of the year. Talented young shortstop. 7-6 Brewers, 2 outs, 5th inning. It's one of those days when that bullpen phone rings. Guys start hiding. Hitter's delight on this Saturday afternoon in Milwaukee.
I haven't seen many of these this year. And a lot of low scoring close games.
2 balls, 1 strike. Tying run at second base. Rosario has the book right now as a free swinger. That might change over the years, but right now pitchers are hoping to get him to chase.
Didn't chase that one. Of course, he was ahead in the count. Just missed the outside corner.
A 22-year-old from the Dominican Republic, just his 2nd year in the big leagues. And he draws a walk. Pinch hit, walk. 2 on, 2 out. Back to the top of the order, and the dangerous Brandon Nimmo.
Still no activity in that Brewers bullpen. You got left-hander Nimmo up. You got the switch hitter Cabrera on deck. All quiet for now.
Might see most of those guys before this one's over with. Jennings pitching in his second inning. Got the final out of the fourth. Trying to get through the fifth here. 2 on, 2 out. Nimmo at the plate. And a chopper up the middle. Right there is Saladino. And that'll end the inning. Reyes drives in a run, makes it a 1-run game. Jennings an inning and a third. It's 7-6 Brewers.
And just want to remind you that you can join Brewers Community Foundation and give like a pro this weekend. Your donation will help provide support for youth baseball and other important opportunities for kids and their families. So we encourage you to head to brewers.com/community and you can buy your Give Like a Pro fan pack for $50, $100, and $250 options, all available and all for a great cause.
Okay, Sophia, thank you. Good work by Brewers Community Foundation. Cecilia Gore and Katina Shaw leading that effort. A.J. Ramos is in for the Mets as we go to the bottom of the fifth. It is 7-6 Brewers. Ramos was on the mound at the end of the game last night. He walked in the winning run for Milwaukee.
They faced 2 hitters, walked them both, only threw 1 strike.
His first 6 pitches of the game were balls. And his first one here today is out of the strike zone. Perez in the right. And Jay Bruce for out number 1. Well, it was a briskly played game last night. Moved right along. And in the 10th, Eric Sogard snapped an 0 for 28 with a single. Then a big hit by Yelich. Left-hander off Blevins. And then Ramos came in. He walked Perez to load him, and then he walks Travis Shaw, and the Brewers won. A walk-off walk for Shaw. The Brewers with their 4th walk-off and their 4th extra inning win this year.
Take him any way you can get him, right?
No doubt. Tyler Saladino now with 1 away. He drove in a game-tying RBI with a single in the 3rd.
Yeah, between the 2 teams last night, there were 7 walks, and there wasn't 1 walk until the 7th inning. A lot of walks late.
7 in this game today combined. That's the beauty of baseball. You never know what you're going to see. Games change. I mean, this could turn into a pitcher's duel here quickly as you get into the late innings of relief. It won't look like it on the scoreboard. Saladino strikes out for out number 2.
Well, today's time of the game winner, Rock River Tap in Horicon. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Been to Horicon duck hunting?
Have not. Is that what you do there?
Amongst other things.
That's your thing?
Could go to the Rock River Tap after duck hunting.
Here's Eric Kratz, and he will launch one out. Welcome to Milwaukee. Eric Kratz with a home run in his first game as a Brewer. 8-6 Milwaukee now as Eric Kratz hits his first home run in the big league since 2016.
Yeah, we told you he's got big power. That was way back. Last home run for Kratz off Madison Bumgarner back in 2016. No cheapie there.
He's still learning the gauntlet.
You know what? I'd be careful. Everybody in that gauntlet, the size of that guy.
He's much bigger than
They
everybody
might
else.
put you right on your, you know what.
His jumping elbow 5 is kind of at the top of everyone's head. It'll get better. This is a bomb.
Look out, down and in, 92, and Ramos knew it right away. Badger Mutual insurance run of the game in the 5th inning.
Well, got to be a great feeling for him. I mean, you go back a week, right? Eric Kratz is sitting in AAA with the Yankees. I'm sure he's wondering about the rest of his career, how much professional baseball is left at age 37. I mentioned he'll be 38 in just a few weeks. And all of a sudden, the Brewers make a deal. They bring him here yesterday. Jet Bandy was designated for assignment. Got to observe yesterday in his first day back in the big leagues. He's in the starting lineup today with the opening day starter Chase Anderson on the mound, and he hits a home run.
That's the thing. I mean, you can catch and throw these days. I mean, you can make a living and continue to make a living until you decide you don't want to.
That's a base hit inside the bag for Dan Jennings. So the Brewer reliever gets 2 at-bats in this game and comes up with his second hit of the season, his first today.
He's thinking this is easy. What's so hard about this? Fastball on the corner but up, but able to tuck it inside that third baseline. Right down the line and ends up with a single. Man.
Jennings had a hit against the Cardinals in St. Louis on April 11th and has another one here today. Lorenzo Cain now back to the top of the Brewers order.
You can make a good living, as I was mentioning, being a backup catcher in the big leagues. Spent a lot of time in the major leagues.
Mets got a run on the top of the 5th. The Brewers get it right back. 8-6. Brewers lead it on 10 hits. And now Cain whistles one over the head of Ed Cedar, who's playing limbo over there. Got to check the knees now. There's a delayed reaction. Two balls and a strike. There was a day just a few years ago when Ed would just have to wear that one in the ribs.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't in a position to actually move.
He's much more nimble these days. Feeling good.
Yeah, he got surgery, right?
Yeah.
The knee replaced. Cain draws a walk. So Kratz homers. You got Jennings, the pitcher, with a base hit, and now Lorenzo Cain is on via the walk. 2 men are on with 2 outs. All of this coming with 2 outs. And it brings up Christian Yelich. Yelich at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Walked and scored in the first, had an RBI triple in the fourth. That gave the Brewers the lead. Curveball strike from Ramos. 4th inning, Yelich up there with Cain at first. Check out that metric on Yelich. He goes 29 feet per second and goes home to third in 11.27 seconds. That is booking it. And that's driven into the gap, left center. That is going to go to the wall. Jennings is in. Cain on his way home. He's in. It's a 2 RBI double for Yelich. 10-6 Brewers.
All right, 2 outs, nobody on. Home run. You get Dan Jennings with a base hit. Cain walks. Yelich clears the bases on a cutter that stayed right down the middle of the plate. Finds the gap, and the Brewers had the right guy at first base, because Lorenzo Cain scores easily on that gapper to left center.
And that'll be a knockout punch for the Mets reliever A.J. Ramos. All of this with 2 outs. 3 hits and a walk. Cain with 2 RBIs, and it's 10-6 Brewers. Light, great taste, and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Christian Yelich, a 2 RBI double. He's got 3 ribbies on the day. A triple and a double today. How about those eyes? They were wide open. Having a great day today off his former Marlins teammate A.J. Ramos. Ramos is out, and the new pitcher for the Mets is Chris Flexen. He will face Ryan Braun. The Brewers lead 10-6 now in the 5th inning.
Yeah, got called up from AAA Las Vegas back on May 19th. Was 3-3, 340 earned run average down there. He was a starting pitcher in the minor leagues.
Braun with a runner at second. Yelich. Broken bat, right back to the mound. 1 pitch, and Flexen is out of the inning. But it's another productive one for the Brewers. They got a lot of crooked numbers on the board here today. Eric Pratt's his first Brewer home run. And then Yelich drives in 2 more. 10-6 Milwaukee. We go to the 6th inning. The Coca-Cola 600. It's on Fox, and it all starts at 4:30 p.m. or you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Now the Brewers up 10-6 now. Look at that line. It's only 1/2 inning the Brewers have failed to score. Same for the Mets. And Dan Jennings is done for the day after 2 at-bats and a base hit. He'll give way to another left-hander. Boone Logan will pitch for the Brewers now.
Yeah, pitched Thursday and looked really good. His velocity was better than it has been since coming off the disabled list to a scoreless 8th inning that included a strikeout. Fastball slider for Boone Logan.
Logan facing Asdrubal Cabrera to start this 6th inning. I'm just thinking about Eric Kratz here in a situation like this. Kratz just got to the ball club yesterday. He caught Brent Suter in a bullpen session, a side session between starts. But that's all he's caught. And so these relievers are coming in now in a game like this when the starter's out in the 4th, and he's catching these pitchers for the first time. Got to be a quick study back there.
Yeah,
huh?
and again, I mean, catching, you know, you can make it as complicated as you want, but you saw right there with Kratz, he had the 0-2 count, called for the fastball up and in. He wanted to pitch up. I mean, it's kind of universal. I mean, it's not rocket science back there. You got to do your homework. There's certain pitchers that are a little bit more complicated than others.
There's a ground ball backhanded by Saladino, and a good strong throw across the diamond for out number 1. So he's solid out there at short, boy. He's got great feet. Plants him.
Good balance. Sees he gets down as low as he can to get his eyes at the level of the bounce as best he can. Has a lot of confidence in his throwing arm, his surgically repaired throwing arm.
Yeah, had Tommy John on that elbow back in 2014. Boone Logan with 1 man gone. Now Wilmer Flores coming up. Another ground ball to Saladino. 2 outs.
See that fastball 94 miles an hour. I mean, he wasn't throwing anywhere near that his first couple of times out. Craig Counsell commenting on that after his outing on Thursday. Really liked the velocity. And when you have the velocity like that, it's going to make the slider that much better.
Logan from Helotes, Texas, just outside San Antonio. Facing another Texan here, Jay Bruce. There's a great bar in Helotes, Texas, Rock, you would love, right up your alley.
Which means what?
Any bar will do. But this particular bar is called Floor's Country Store.
Why is it right up my alley?
Because they serve homemade tamales.
Oh, you're right.
With the ice cold beer. And they have a little back area with a stage. And you wouldn't believe the acts that come there and play. I saw Merle Haggard at that place one time when I was in college.
Nice.
Merle Haggard played Floor's Country Store. Boone Logan will know it.
That sounds like a good meal for me after the game.
We had some homemade tamales in the booth today, courtesy of our friend Linda down in the truck.
Yeah,
taking care of us.
That was nice.
Two the count. And the breaking ball missed to Jay Bruce. Boone Logan now 33 years of age. He'll turn 34 this year in August. He's had some good years. He's got 13 years in the big leagues. Last year with the Indians. And he slings a curveball inside, ball 4. 2-out walk. Logan has always been a reliever. He came up with the White Sox. He was drafted by the White Sox in 2002. Signed out of high school. Been with the Braves. The Yankees had some really good years with the Yankees. One of Joe Girardi's go-to guys.
Well, 2 outs, nobody on. That was the recipe for success for the Brewers in the bottom of the 5th inning. And 2 outs, nobody on here. A walk. Now he's behind Conforto. 2-0. Got to be careful here. That's why Kratz went out.
Tough to get outs on a day like this. Played 5 full innings. 10 frames. There's been 2 scoreless frames. Brewers have 2 3-run innings and 2 2-run innings. There's a good fastball. 95 from Logan. 2-1 to count.
And there has not been a 3-up 3-down inning. Not one.
A.J. Ramos retired the first 2 batters of the 5th inning and then gave up 3 runs. Next 4 batters reached, including a relief pitcher, Dan Jennings, who's singled to keep that rally going. 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Boone Logan starting to round into form after that triceps injury in spring training. 10-6 Brewers, home 6 coming up. Fox Sports Wisconsin as we inspire girls to be healthy and confident at the Girls on the Run of Southeastern Wisconsin. It's the Spring 5K presented by Brewers Community Foundation. It'll happen on Saturday, June 2nd at Miller Park. To register, visit Girls on the Run Southeastern WI.org/5K. 26th of May, Memorial Day weekend. Jesus Aguilar will lead off for the Brewers. Flexen back on the mound. Aguilar takes a strike. Bring in Sophia here because there is bullpen discussion now going on for the Brewers and who's available the rest of this game. We might see a reliever an inning the rest of the way in this one, Sophia.
Yeah, and that topic of the bullpen usage came up with Craig Counsell before the game. He said, you know, obviously they have the league's best bullpen with a 2.46 earned run average, but they've also covered a lot of innings coming into today, 197 and 2/3 innings pitched for the bullpen. But he said, looking back, he feels that last year it was more of a concern in terms of overusage, and he actually feels very comfortable with where the guys are in their innings at this point in the season. And so he said it's with guys like Josh Hader when they're making 2-inning appearances. He says it's that formula in terms of, do you have a guy pitch 2 innings? Do you have more guys pitch a single inning? He said there's no clear answer on that in terms of what's more effective for a bullpen overall. But with Hader, he said if we use him for 2 innings, we'll give him 2 days rest. And he said there's always a certain range that they're comfortable with in terms of guys and their pitch counts. So he says there's no exact formula, but so far they've been consistent with it, and they're trying to maintain that just in terms of keeping these guys in an effective place.
Yeah, and the fact that you have so many guys that can give you multiple innings. I mean, you're afforded the luxury of, you know, using Hader like they did yesterday and then having to give him 2 days off. You got Jeffers, you got Knable that's available. You know, Matt Albers has been very good. He can give you multiple innings. So it's kind of a luxury that Craig Counsell has, that he's able to go to so many different guys and give them more than 1 inning. That's kind of an unusual thing these days.
So the volume of innings by the entire bullpen, and don't forget the rotation they're using with pitchers who have options, guys like Jorge Lopez and Jacob Barnes, Brandon Woodruff. You know, those guys are in the AAA shuffle right now. So their bullpen actually expands to their minor league system as well. So yes, the volume of innings is high, but individually, I don't think it feels like anybody's being overworked at this point. That's the bottom line to all that.
Yeah, they're all very effective. Adrian Hauser called up. He's a long man out there. He replaces Jorge Lopez. Guy that can give you maybe 3-4 innings. He's a starter down in the minors.
Shaw draws the walk, 2 on to start this inning after the Aguilar single.
And you know, you mentioned Jacob Barnes. I talked to Craig Counsell about Jacob the other day or yesterday, and he said that he's really not where he should be at this point. They'd like to see him down in the minor leagues a little bit longer. And the fact that the bullpen has been so effective, they have the luxury of keeping him down there and trying to get better command of that cut fastball.
Great talent of arms in the relief corps in the big leagues and in the upper level minor leagues. Defensive swing by Perez for strike 1. Flexen pitching in his 2nd inning. First 2 have reached here in the 6th. Brewers trailed in the 1st inning of this game 3-0. And a big day offensively on both sides, but the Brewers are up 4 now. Perez a big part of that. He drove in 2 with a 2-out 2-strike double in the 1st inning. That tied the game at 3. Milwaukee quickly answered a deficit.
Yeah, highest combined run total for the Brewers in a game that they played. You know, Brewers and opponent was at Colorado back on May 11th, 11-10, and that was a win for the Brewers in 10 innings. A game where they were able to jump off the mat and come from behind.
Two on, nobody out for Perez. Three and 2 now. Now the Brewers are making believers out of those who come across their path. I think generally, at least what I hear when I watch a lot of the national shows is, you know, the Brewers are in that position. They're going to have to prove they have staying power. And most of it has to do with what happened last year as Perez draws the walk to load the bases. You know, Milwaukee had a 5.5 game lead at the All-Star break last year, and then they struggled in the second half. A lot of these players going through a pennant race for the first time. Craig Counsell makes no excuses, but also realizing that that experience is helpful. Those two guys are helpful too.
Yeah, yeah, they don't hurt.
Kane and Yelich, the acquisitions this offseason, guys who have been through pennant races and have been through long hauls of season, putting up numbers. But you look at the structure of the roster right now, and I mean, there's a lot to recommend here. Brewers have a lot of, you can always tell a good team by their bench on a given day. And every day the Brewers show up, their bench is solid. Saladino back to the mound, and it's going to be a 1-2-5 double play.
Interesting decision by Mesoraco, huh? You don't see that very often. It's usually the 1-2-3 double play on a comebacker. But he saw that he had an easy out at third base. Look at the peripheral vision right here for Mesoraco, and right away going to third base and an easy out. Not sure why Flores tagged him, but it's okay.
2 quick outs here, and the 2 lead runners cut down, first and second. 2 away for Eric Kratz.
Not sure I've ever seen a double play like that.
I was thinking, could he have thrown to first and had a chance at a triple play, but not with Saladino running. The angles were going all the wrong ways in that one.
Yeah.
Kratz hit a homer his last time up, and that one's on the ground. It is off the glove of Reyes. He does throw to second, but it's late, and it's another hit for Kratz.
Well, they saved the run, did Reyes, keeping it in the infield. A little bit of a pile at second base. Cabrera coming up a little gimpy. And he's able to get to it, and he nearly threw it away. Had that ball gotten away from Cabrera, might have had a run in for Milwaukee. Better off just holding on to it.
Perez ends up at third. Saladino at second with Kratz at first. Kratz with a 2-hit game in his debut. And now a pinch hitter will be announced. Jonathan Villar is coming off the bench. By the way, Eric Kratz, the 27th player to homer in his Brewers debut. And interestingly, after that Kratz home run, the Brewers have 5 players who have done that in the last 4 years. Santana did it, homered in his first game. I feel like that was in Washington, D.C.
Bullet down the line.
Line drive to left, yeah. Villar did it. Jonathan Villar homered in his first Brewers game back in 2016. Nick Franklin and Eric Sogard also homering in their first game. So Villar with the bases loaded could deliver a knockout punch here in the 6th inning if he gets a hold of one. Oh, and 2 the count. Villar hitting for Boone Logan. Logan works a scoreless inning with a strikeout and a walk. And that's the inning. Villar strikes out. Brewers strand them loaded, but they still lead 10-6. We're on our way to the 7th inning. Here comes Taylor Williams.
at Miller Park. Checking in on the Brewers minor league system, brought to you by UW Whitewater. The Brewers picked up their 4th walk-off win of the season last night, but Keston Hiura did it a little bit more dramatically. How about a 3-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th? A 4-1 win for the Mudcats. He would finish the night 2 for 5 with that home run, 3 RBIs in the win, and he's hit safely in 12 of his last 14 games. He's hitting a .337 average with 22 runs, 12 doubles, and 4 homers. So Keston Hiura is making hitting look easy right now.
Oh man, he sure is, and he said it from day one.
And he backed it up.
We had him in the booth after he was drafting us. Well, hitting's the easy part for me. I've never heard a baseball player say that, and he's backing it up indeed. Taylor Williams on to pitch. Remember, he was warming up in the 1st inning of this game. Anderson was able to get out of the inning, but Williams does get in as we go to the 7th.
Yeah, 2nd appearance for Williams in the series. Pitched Thursday against the Mets. Scoreless inning.
Devin Mesoraco leads off for New York. Keston Hiura, it's a guarantee if he stays injury free, he'll be a big leaguer.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's got a big league bat right now, no question. Little flare is going to fall. Mesoraco with a broken bat single. It's his 2nd hit of the game.
Well, the Brewers and Cardinals will face off in a 3-game series at Miller Park this Monday through Wednesday. Check out the complete schedule. That includes $1 hot dogs as part of Monday's Memorial Day festivities, and half-price tickets for kids and seniors Mondays and Wednesday at Brewers.com.
Memorial Day game Monday against the Cardinals. Brewers have seen a lot of the Cardinals. It'll be their 3rd series with St. Louis already. A strike to Adrian Gonzalez.
They saw a lot of the Cardinals in the first 10 days. 2 series in the first 2 weeks.
Three more coming up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to cap off a 10-game homestand. Adrian Gonzalez had a single back in the 3rd, scored a run in the 5th. He scored from first base on a double by Reyes. That was the 6th Met run. That's not a dash that Adrian Gonzalez is familiar with recently. First to home. 0-2 the count. Williams with the big fastball. Gives him one at 98. Small stature, big arm. Taylor Williams.
I think that's what surprised a lot of hitters. I mean, the way that velocity comes at you.
And he strikes out Gonzalez. Blows him away with a fastball. First K of the game for Taylor Williams.
Yeah, it took a little off. 95 up in the zone. That's all you need. Don't need much more than that up there. Gonzalez swings right through it, right underneath it.
One gone, runner at first. Jose Reyes, the switch hitter, turns around to hit left-handed against the right-hander Williams. Strike one. Taylor Williams just a click away from becoming a dominant reliever. He's got all the stuff. He's got the makeup. He's a bulldog, man. He loves the competition of it, and there is a mechanical fix with his command, and he knows he has to make that jump. I mean, that's usually the separator between a minor league talent versus a major league talent.
Consistency in the strike zone.
And it'll happen for him as long as he stays healthy. Remember, he missed 2 years with an elbow injury. Tried to avoid Tommy John surgery. Could not. Had to go and have the surgery. So It cost him 2 full seasons. This is really his 2nd season back. Healthy season.
He doesn't give him many hits. I mean, he gave up his 11th hit this inning. But the walks have been an issue. 11 walks in 17 innings.
No balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball back to the mound. Williams to second. Out there. Nice catch, Saladino, and turns it into a double play. That was a heck of a play by the Brewers shortstop. Tyler Saladino on the feed from Taylor Williams. 2 for the price of 1. The Brewers lead it 10-6, and a 1-6-3 double play to end the 7th.
Lead. Taking a look now at our game break. Philly starter Aaron Nola had quite a day, had no hitter through 6, took it into the 7th, and that was broken up by Russell Martin with a single to left with 2 outs, but no outs on the day. 3 walks, again, just the 1 hit, 1 earned run. That game is tied at 1 in the 8th.
That's a guy to keep an eye on. You talk about a future ace, you know, a guy that could emerge into that elite status. Aaron Nola.
Yeah, Brewers see the Phillies' next road trip. Can't believe we're talking about next road trip already. Feels like we just got home.
That's another 3-city road trip for the Brewers. Chicago to play the White Sox, Cleveland for the Indians, and then to Philadelphia. Lorenzo Cain batting here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 10-6, the Brewers have the lead. Cain's had a good day. He's walked twice, has a single, he's scored twice. On base percentage at .390 now for Lorenzo Cain.
Every spot in the batting order has a hit today. Well spread out offense for the Brewers.
2-0 the count. And Cain looks at a strike.
Every spot, including the number 9 spot, Jennings with a base hit.
The relief pitcher. He says all this noise about Shohei Ohtani. He's a combo player. Cain into right center. That ball's hit deep. Long run, Conforto, and it is off the wall. Takes a huge bounce. Cain content with a double. Good job, Jay Bruce, backing up that play. Otherwise, Cain's at third, maybe home.
Just such a nice, easy swing for Lorenzo Cain. My goodness, check this out. That keeps that bat in the hitting zone a long time. He has that little bit of a launch angle going, and Conforto getting a little bit too close to the bag. But as you mentioned, Bruce backing it up.
What a great shot.
It's raining doubles.
All smiles. Cain on base 4 times today in his 5 plate appearances. 2 hits, 2 walks. And he's at second for Christian Yelich. Yelich has cashed in with Cain's success. He's driven him in twice. Yelich with 3 RBIs.
I love that back leg swing for Lorenzo Cain. You don't see many guys do that anymore. That's old school.
Pro's pro. Hard to believe that guy didn't play baseball until he was 15. The old back leg in it swing.
Yeah, watch. He leans back, that back leg all the way on the back leg, and there it is off the wall in center. That's a slight uppercut.
Cain and Yelich have been so good for the Brewers. Just consistent. Yelich did spend a little time on the DL. It was a quick stay with an oblique injury. They got to it early, so it wasn't the 4 to 6 weeks version of that injury, which you see a lot of in the game. And good for Yelich to recognize it early too. You know, it's early in the season. He wants to impress his new team. He could have tried to play through it and probably would have injured it worse.
And been out 2 months.
Cain and Yelich today 4 for 6 with 3 walks. Bouncing ball that'll get Cain to third. Cabrera's throw not in time. Yelich beats it out.
And he can run.
Infield hit for Yelich.
Make that 5 for 7.
Yep.
Yep, he knows it's going to be a close play. Cabrera knows it. He's got to get rid of it quickly, but not in time. Cooking down that line is Christian Yelich.
Can't do it any better at the top of the batting order. Cain and Yelich, 10 plate appearances, 8 times on base. So Yelich with his 3rd hit to go along with a walk. And that'll bring up Braun with runners at first and third. Nobody out in the Brewers' 7th inning. 10-6 Milwaukee. 15 hits for the Brewers. Out hitting the Mets 15-10. Pitchers beware today.
It'd be nice to get Ryan Braun hot to add to this offensive attack.
He's had a good day. Drove in a run with a single in the 4th with the drawn in infield.
Get into one of those 3-week stretches where he's barreling up just about everything.
I think the best part about the Brewers position player roster now is that Braun is not the only alpha dog anymore. He's got Cain and Yelich could carry the load. Braun is starting to trim down his games as he ages. Age 33 season this season. He's hoping to get 120, 130 games. But now when Braun's out of the lineup, it's not such a severe drop off for the Brewers because you have guys like Cain and Yelich. And Travis Shaw emerging as a real run producer.
And Santana out there in right field. He's been swinging the bat well.
Braun rarely swings 3-0. Let's see if he has the green light here. And he takes ball 4. The bases are loaded.
And another walk. Boy, a lot of walks today.
So the stage is set here for the cleanup man, Jesus Aguilar. Back in the 3rd inning, Aguilar, with the Brewers down 5-3, launches a home run off the scoreboard to make it 5-4. Home run number 8. Aguilar with 2 hits today. 8 homers, 24 RBIs. for Jesus. Can turn a good day into a great day right here. Had a big cut. Aguilar hardly played in the first 3 weeks of the season. Most of his at-bats came in the pinch hit variety. He did not have an RBI until April 19th. The 20th team game, no RBIs. And he's sitting here with 24 right now.
Been a nice nice fill-in for Eric Thames over at first base. Thames still on the mend.
Oh, 2 pitch. Aguilar hangs in there. So basically it's been 33 games for Aguilar. It's taken him 33 games to drive in 24 runs.
Not bad. And he's got 8 homers.
4 times he's had 3 RBIs in a game, including earlier on this homestand against Arizona. He could match that feat with a base hit here. And he swings and lines one to center, a base hit. Kane is in. And right behind him is Yelich. The throw gets away. Both runners will advance. Braun to third, Aguilar to second. It's 12-6 Milwaukee, and the big man with another 3 RBI performance.
Man, he's something else. He's a good 2-strike hitter. Might be one of the better 2-strike hitters the Brewers have. There's that breaking ball going down and away. Look at the big fellow, the way he shortens up, just tries to punch that ball into center field. Not over swinging. Well, you just gotta love the way he does that. And the Brewers might have thrown the haymaker on the Mets here.
Give him a single and 2 RBIs, and then an error on Conforto to allow both runners to advance. The 16th hit for the Brewers, 3rd from Aguilar, and it's 12-6. Here's Travis Shaw.
Such a pick-me-up when a guy like Aguilar, after an injury to Thames, you have Ryan Braun in and out of the lineup, and when you have a guy like that, as you mentioned, didn't play much for 3 weeks, to put up this kind of production, that's just a shot in the arm for everybody.
Shaw into left. Braun's going to tag. Nimmo the catch, and Braun won't test him. Shaw flies out. First out of the inning. Every Brewer regular has at least 1 hit in this game. And even one of the Brewer relievers has a hit in this game. Dan Jennings, who got 2 at-bats. Perez had a key hit in the first after the Mets scored 3 in the top of the first. Perez with a 2 RBI double. Came with 2 outs. He also stole a base in that inning. Brewers tie their season high with 12 runs today. They had 12 in a win over Miami, in a 12-3 win over the Marlins. That was the 3 RBI game of Aguilar. His first RBI of the season came that day.
Now, Brewers so far today have a hit in every inning with a man in scoring position except for the second. 8 for 17.
And a team that's been shut out 9 times of their 20 losses. Go figure.
Well, why waste the runs, right?
A loss is a loss.
What's the difference?
Yeah, it's hard to be critical of a Brewers team that has performed the way they have collectively this year. They got a chance to go to 13 games over 500. They got off to their best 50-game start in franchise history at 30-19. On the ground in the hole, and it's in and out of the glove of Reyes. And Perez is out at first. A run scores.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I think the Brewers are going to take a look at that, and I think that might be overturned.
First base umpire Rob Drake.
Oh, yeah, that's not even close.
That's an umpire making a call with his stomach.
Yeah, that's an umpire saying we've been out here too long.
I'm hungry. But it's the replay era, and it'll be.
Yeah, this could take all of 5 seconds.
That is the crew chief over there, Mike Winters. He'll be the one giving us the call. Yep, took no time. And
3 seconds.
Perez is aboard. Tough play. It was in the hole. Be interesting to see if they scored a hit or an error. Reyes ranging over in the hole with a backhand.
Yeah, he did bobble it. If he gets it cleanly here, he's going to be able to maybe throw him out. That's a pretty good throw, though, even after he dropped it.
That's got to be an error, right?
I don't know. Just a matter of how generous the official scorer wants to be today.
That would be Tim O'Driscoll, the official scorer, who scores it as an error. Big league shortstop's got to make that play.
But it is an RBI.
Now Saladino down the right field line. That's in. Extra bases for Saladino. Aguilar will score. Perez will hold up. And the line keeps on moving. 14-6. 17 hits now for the Brewers. And Saladino with his second hit.
It's an amazing performance by this Brewers offense today. Picking up Chase Anderson. Slider away, and look at Saladino go with it. That's just a pretty piece of hitting. And driving in a run. Perez able to get into third base. And the Brewers have busted this one wide open.
Saladino with 2 hits today and 2 RBIs. Season high 17 hits. That ties the mark. They had 17 against the Rockies in Colorado on the last road trip. That was in a 10-inning win. 11-10 victory for the Brewers. Eric Kratz fouls one away. Was that the Manny Pena 2-homer game? The 11-10 win in Colorado?
Yes.
The 2-run homer against Wade Davis?
Yep, it was. 2 outs, down by a run. Pena took him out of the ballpark. Yep.
So a record-setting day is going to send Mike Vasallo and his staff scampering, and a shot to short. Reyes slings one over to first, and Kratz is retired, the second out. I'll tell you, Kratz has 2 hits. He could easily have 4 in this game.
Yeah, he hit that one right on the nose as well. Infield was back, but he hit it too hard. Hit a little dribbler next time, Eric. You get an RBI.
In his first game as a Brewer, he has shown well. Pinch hitter is Domingo Santana now. 9th batter of the inning. 4 runs are in. 14-6 Brewers. Crowd of 37,000 plus here to see this one today. 37,258. Enjoying the warm weather. Felt like winter would never end. Kind of went from winter to summer.
Yeah, it did. Where was spring?
Maybe one day of spring in there. Last homestand the Brewers were here, it snowed. Santana with a base hit. That's going to go to the wall, and 2 more runs are coming in. A pinch hit double. 16-6 Milwaukee. Uncle.
Brewers now 10 for 21 with runners in scoring position today. Oh boy. And fastball, 2-seamer in, and Santana turns it around. And the beat goes on. Flexing kind of the sacrificial lamb for Mickey Callaway in the bullpen right now.
Is he ever? They just now got some action in their bullpen. 16-6. The Mets led 3-0 in the first inning. Lorenzo Cain started all of this with a double and a run scored in the 7th. 10th batter of the inning. Brewers have been using a reliever an inning here in the last few innings. Adrian Hauser will be next up. He might have a chance to pitch the last 2 if he's effective.
Yeah, and Greg Counsell would love to see that. And before this inning, it was Albers getting loose in the pen.
It is worth staying around for if you haven't seen Hauser pitch with that surgically repaired arm. He can bring it. This guy was the talk of the Arizona Fall League this past offseason when he was throwing that fastball in triple digits. One and 2 the count on Cain. 2 outs. Brewers have 6 runs in. And Flexen with 55 pitches. Can be a lonely place at a mound when you're having a tough time throwing strikes and getting outs.
Yeah, he was a starter down in the minor leagues, and that's really the only reason why the Mets keep him out there. He is stretched out a little bit.
Another base hit. Lorenzo Cain into left field. Santana on his way home, and he scores. The throw gets away. Cain into second with an RBI single.
You just can't leave him out there any longer. I just feel bad for the guy. He's out of gas. He's trying to get through the inning, and here comes Mickey Callaway. He's mercifully going to take him out.
Lorenzo Cain with his 3rd hit, on base 5 times, and a 7-run inning makes it 17-6. Pitching change with 2 outs in the Brewers' 7th. They're rolling now. 7-6. 2 outs. Christian Yelich is coming up. He is a home run away from the cycle. 17 runs, 19 Brewer hits. And the bubble has burst here in the 7th inning for the Mets. Left-hander Jerry Blevins is on to pitch. This is not a pitcher that Mickey Callaway wanted to use in a game like this.
Yeah, they're only lefty. He pitched last night.
Kane at second base. It's the 11th batter of the inning.
Blevins came in to get Yelich yesterday. Yelich with a base hit.
That was a big hit, kept the inning going. Callaway made the pitching change to bring in Ramos. And then the Brewers would win as Ramos walked in the winning run. But that Yelich hit off Blevins was a big one. It was a single in the right. Jay Bruce was playing so deep, trying to cut off an extra base hit. Not a fly ball that would normally fall, but it did last night, and it worked in the Brewers' favor. Yelich and Kane have been on 9 times today. Your top 2 hitters in the lineup. Wow. Yelich has 3 hits and a walk. He scored 3 times. He's driven in 3 runs. Last time the Brewers had a cycle, it was from their catcher, George Kataris, against the Astros at Minute Maid Park. I think the last 2 cycles have been, maybe 2 of the last 3 have been Brewer catchers. I think Jody Garrett was in between.
Right.
Chad Moeller and George Kataris. Rockets all perked up when you talk about catchers and cycles.
Charlie Moore had a cycle.
He did, 1980.
Yeah.
The Brewers have 7 cycles.
Of course, Robin, I would imagine, right?
He's on the list. 1988.
Mike Hegan.
Hegan was the first one. 76. You were probably there for Robin's cycle, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Down in the bullpen.
Probably. Was it Chicago? Was it?
Yeah, the White Sox.
Yeah.
16-2 game.
Yeah. Old Comiskey Park.
Robin had a cycle on 4 hits, right? So he completely maximized the cycle opportunities. If we're going into cycle analysis.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that, see if I was in the bullpen or not.
Let's see.
You just assume.
I figured, you know, just the odds are in the favor of you being in the bullpen. But
Okay.
that was a platoon year for you, though, wasn't it? 88.
I'm gonna say they're all platoon years.
I'd go with that. 3-1. Yelich fouls it back.
Now, 87 was more the platoon year with B.J. Surhoff, and then 88, B.J., you know, was the heir apparent, and he was getting a lot more of the playing time that year.
Not that he deserved it, but he got it.
It was given to him.
It was just given to him. I know. I'm with you. Actually, Rock, the day Robin Yount had the cycle, you were the starting catcher.
See? Say you're sorry.
I'm sorry. That was wrong. Again. Ground ball to Reyes. Going to be a tough play here. Yelich is out and just out, and the inning is mercifully over. What an inning, though. 7-run score. 11 batters come to the plate. Brewers with a victory lap this afternoon in Milwaukee. A big lead as we go to the 8th.
runs on 19 hits, and they've got a big lead 17-6. So you can join the Brewers Community Foundation and give like a pro this weekend. Your donation will help provide support for youth baseball and other important opportunities for kids and their families. So I want to remind you, you can go to brewers.com/community and buy your Give Like a Pro fan packs for $50, $100, $250 options. All of those are available. All of those going to support BCF.
All right, Sophia, looking forward to the results of that. Brewers will raise a ton of money. Hopefully you will be a part of it if you're so inclined. So Adrian Hauser gets the duty here with 17 runs on the board and an 11-run lead. Hopefully Hauser can finish this one off today.
And Jerry Blevins getting an at-bat. Hauser's second stint with the Brewers. He did appear in a game against the Cubs back on April 8th. Couple innings, had 3 strikeouts. He also appeared in the major leagues with the Brewers way back in 2015.
That was the year he was acquired by the Brewers. He and Santana, Josh Hader, and Brett Phillips all coming to Milwaukee that year in 15. Santana was the first to make it to the majors of that group. And then Hauser was up in September that year, and then the arm troubles happened. And so he's kind of been the forgotten guy in the middle of that. Phillips had a nice run last year when he came up. But Hauser back and healthy and still trying to work out some mechanics and get the feel back, but he has a bright future. He's only 25. Going for more control than power, I think.
Yeah, made 8 starts down in Double-A this year. He had 30 strikeouts in 26 2/3 innings.
And he strikes out the Mets relief pitcher. I don't think Blevins really had his heart in it to swing the bat right there. Yelich moves to center. Kane's done for the day. And Santana stays in to play right field after Santana pinch hits and delivers a 2 RBI double. Brandon Nimmo now against Hauser. That's a good day's work, Lorenzo Cain. 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 runs scored, and an RBI.
Yeah, and just another day at the office for Kane. Gamer, that guy.
Nimmo, jam shot, long run. Saladino makes the catch over the shoulder.
Hey, the more you see him, the more you like him. I mean, he can pick it. He's made some tough plays today. The skinny eye black of Tyler Saladino. Little jam shot, and the race is on to go get it. Who wants it? Saladino, the only guy that could have caught it, and he does.
San Diego native Tyler Saladino.
He's had some big hits today.
He was telling me a story about his heritage. He has Japanese heritage, and he was saying one of his favorite Japanese quotes kind of is an all-encompassing quote about being grateful, being thankful of where you are, your surroundings, the people you're with, and he applies all that to his life in the big leagues. Got a great chance here with the Brewers. Nice inning for Hauser. Saladino's been terrific today. The Brewers coming back to the plate.
offensive numbers the Brewers are putting up right now. A big 17-run. Look at this. I got everything. iPad, iPhone, trying to keep up with everything going on here. Rock's going to join me on the set to help add things up on Brewers Live postgame. We're going to hear from Craig Counsell. What a day offensively it is. I don't think we're going to be talking about pitching much at all, so that's a good thing that Augie's not going to be here, guys.
Don't be giving all those electronics to Rock.
That's true.
Quickest way to put that right.
Yeah, I am the electronic saboteur.
Ryan Braun leading off here in the Brewers' 8th inning. Well, the Brewers scoring a season-high 17 runs. It is their highest total since they scored 18 back in 2010. That was against the Cubs. That was August of 2010. That was it at Wrigley Field. It's their highest run total at home since they scored 17 runs in April of 2010 against the Pirates. They have 10 games in franchise history scoring 17 or more runs in their home ballpark, whether it be County Stadium or Miller Park, if you're looking for some superlatives.
And 19 hits today, huh? You know what I like? You know the stat I like the best? 17 runs, 1 homer. And the Brewers 11 for 22 runners in scoring position. I think Darnell Coles is going to be sleeping well tonight.
Ryan Braun pulls one foul. Brewers hit 2 homers run. Aguilar and Kratz.
That's right, 2. I'm sorry. I got to
but
change.
I like your point, though.
I have to change that because I would have said that again in the postgame show.
We're all about setting you up for a successful Brewers Live.
2 home runs. 2 home runs, but Darnell Coles, I tell you, he has been very disciplined with these guys, and although they have struggled at times, it's been a good day.
Ryan Braun, center field. Conforto is there to make the catch. No, your point is well taken still, though, because both of the home runs were solo shots. So 15 of the 17 runs have been scored outside of the home run ball.
I'm having a difficult time deciphering my scorecard, if you get what I mean. There's a lot going on.
It's kind of a mess. You got a lot of red and black.
A lot of red. You know, red is runners in scoring position at bats.
I use a pencil.
Yeah. So yeah, only 2 home runs.
Yeah. 2 home runs.
You know, I want to clean up this thing. You know, we were talking about the.
We have so much to clean up, so you better hurry.
Well, the uniform thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Remember, the Brewers have 5 uniforms that they have in their regular daily rotation.
Okay.
And they have 15 other uniforms that they wear for special events.
Oh my goodness.
Now they have a spring training uni, St. Patrick's Day, Jackie Robinson Day, Mother's Day, Cerveceros Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day. They're going to break out a 1983 uniform when they play the White Sox coming up. A 1923 Bears uniform, Negro League uniform at Pittsburgh. They have a July 4th uniform. They're going to have a 1923 Bears uniform, home uniform. And then they have the Players Weekend. So I know that doesn't add up to 15 others, but they're wearing the Cerveceros 3 different times. 3 different Cerveceros uniforms.
Well, just doing the quick math, that's 20 uniforms.
Right, that's what I said, 20. Yeah. Right.
That's some incredible intel you have.
No, that's from Jason Shoger. He gave us that, earlier today when we were talking about the uniform.
The Memorial Day uniforms that they're wearing today.
Right.
As Aguilar draws a walk.
So that's a lot to manage down there, all those uniforms.
Not to mention the little green sticker on the helmet. That probably took as much time as anything to produce. Eric Sogard will pinch hit.
And remember the Mother's Day, they all had pink cleats, pink bats, pink undershirts.
Yeah, now it's a full complement. You got to go, whenever you change a uniform, it's socks and cleats and.
Yeah. I forget what it was for, but they had hoodies on. I think Mother's Day. Were we in Colorado? I'm not sure. But anyway, they had hoodies that the guys wore on the plane.
See, those are Memorial Day specific baseball cleats. What do you mean the hoodies on the plane? Didn't you wear the Bucks hoodies?
Hey, we did that once.
And there was another hoodie day.
Yeah.
I'm all about the hoodie day. I haven't.
I think that was Mother's Day. Mother's Day was in Colorado.
That was Freddie Peralta's day. Remember Mother's Day? 13 strikeouts.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me now.
3-day memory cycle for Bill Schroeder. That's a lot of foul balls off that mask.
There have been a lot of games that keep in the storage bank. See, when something new comes in, something old has to leave.
Yeah, Rock, were you around for the Robin Yount cycle in '88? I think so.
I was, yeah.
I think I was in the bullpen. No, you started.
No, you said bullpen.
You couldn't confirm or deny them.
I didn't remember. Didn't remember. I just went with what would be the most obvious answer.
The higher statistical probability, right?
Right. Yeah, go with that.
Strike to Sogard.
But no, I mean, that's a lot of uniforms that they wear throughout the year, and every team probably does it, right? Every team has them.
I guess 6. I was way off.
They have 5 that they use on a regular rotation.
That's kind of what I was going with, the regular rotation. I like what baseball's done, though. It's fun. You got all these different uniforms, and a lot of times for certain days, these uniforms go to auction.
Yeah.
And they raise a ton of money. Game worn uniforms. Three-two pitch. Sogard into right. Jay Bruce is there for the out.
See, I'm looking forward now when we play the White Sox, next week. Go to Comiskey, or I should say,
I think it's on its 5th name now. Guaranteed Rate Field.
Okay,
Rock. Rolls off the tongue.
I'm sorry. But now they're going to go to the old '82 uniform.
Yeah.
I hope they're going to go with the
powder blue.
Yeah, powder blue, maybe road uniform, but the Sansa belt, no belt, skin tight pants.
That's a bad look, though.
You think they're going to go that route?
I don't think so. It's a bad look. I like the color palette. That right there.
There you go.
Powder blue. I'm all in on the powder blues.
The pants were very tight, skin tight.
You had to be in really good shape to pull that off.
Yeah, right.
You pulled it off, man. Perez into left field. That's going to stay in. And the Brewers are done in the bottom of the 8th. Last call for the Mets. To the 9th we go. Good uniform intel there, partner. Well done. All smiles today for the Milwaukee Brewers as Sogard will stay in to play second base. That'll move Hernan Perez over to third. And Adrian Hauser, who just arrived to the ball club yesterday from AAA, or from AA, I should say. He had been in Biloxi. He's trying to give him the last 2 innings. It's a base hit by Flores on a curveball. Single to right. Flores has a 3-hit game. Final game of the series tomorrow. Miller Lite, what's on tap? We're on the air at 12:30. Zach Wheeler against Jolie Chassin.
Yeah, Chassin's been really good as of late.
Wheeler was very nearly a Brewer a few years back in the Carlos Gomez deal. He and Wilmer Flores thought they were traded. And a deal that got nixed. U.S. Cespedes ended up with the Mets. And then the Brewers traded Gomez and Mike Fiers to the Astros, and one of the pieces was the man on the mound, Hauser, in that deal. That was another piece. Domingo Santana. So what could have been? They said the medicals of Carlos Gomez is what nixed the trade. As Jay Bruce slaps one through the shift. Back-to-back singles here in the 9th. Jay Bruce on base for the 3rd time. And Hauser with 2 on and nobody out. In this game today, 9 different Brewers have both scored a run and driven in a run, which is a new franchise record. Previous record of 8 have been done multiple occasions, but it hadn't been done since 2001. 9 different players both scoring a run and driving in a run.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's a balanced attack.
Yep, every spot in the batting order with a hit.
Lorenzo Cain reaching base safely 5 times. Career high for him. 3rd time he's done it. He scored 3 runs and drove in a run. Christian Yelich drove in 3 runs, scored 3 runs on 3 hits.
And I think one of the biggest hits of the day was that Perez double in the 1st inning.
I'm with you.
Got him right back to even, you know, telling the Mets that we're not going anywhere. You're going to have to keep going.
Mets led 3-0. Chase Anderson threw over 40 pitches in the 1st inning. It was not looking pretty for the Brewers today, but then Perez delivered with 2 outs and 2 strikes. He had a double down the left field line to tie the game. Mets regained the lead. They were up 4-3 and then 5-3. They scored single tallies in the 2nd and 3rd, and then the Brewers scored twice in the bottom of the 3rd. Aguilar homered. Tyler Saladino tied it, and they have not looked back. And capped off by a 7-run 7th, which took it from 10-6 to 17-6. There's a called strike 3. Conforto is out. First out of the inning on a K.
Yeah, pulling right on the outside corner. Bingo, plenty of the plate, 95 miles an hour. Eric Kratz frames it nicely.
Tomas Nido will bat for the Mets. He'll hit for Mesoraco. Pinch hit appearance. A lot of ways you could go with this one, but a couple of things jump out. Number one, Eric Kratz making his Brewers debut today. Homered, was 2 for 5 and could have easily had 4 hits in the game. And after the Brewers got roughed up early, the bullpen has come on and posted at this point 3 scoreless innings, and Hauser trying to make it 4 scoreless to finish the game. Only 1 run since the 3rd. Oh, 2 to Nido. Outside for a ball. Got him. Hauser with his 3rd K. There's a lot to like with this guy, Adrian Hauser. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
And nice easy delivery. Doesn't overthrow. Right over the top, and 94 on the outside edge.
There's some sneak to his velocity fastball. He's kind of in cruising speed right now. He can comfortably let it ride 94 to 96 miles an hour. In the air, left field. Braun easing back and put this one in the books. A record-setting day in a lot of areas. 17-6, the Brewers win. Dan Jennings picks up the victory. Also had a hit in this game. 17 runs on 19 hits. And the Brewers win again. They go to 33-20, 13 games over 500, and a chance to win the series with a victory tomorrow afternoon. Craig Kashawn standing by. It's a Good News Brewers Live here this afternoon. Take it away, Craig.
All right, Pete, thanks very much. Great job on the broadcast tonight. 17-6 the final. A hit parade like no other. We'll talk about it. Get post-game interviews on the field with Sophia. Craig, Council press conference, and get you set for tomorrow's finale next.